Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Seahawks and Rams meeting for a third time this year. I think it's interesting that the Seahawks' path to the Super Bowl, by the way, knock on wood, will need to go through two division opponents for a third time that season. I wonder if that's ever happened before. I'll look into it later. But for right now, I want to talk about how these two teams are different. And Bump, this is how I want to frame it. I don't think that the Rams have, gotten worse. I think that the Rams are clearly a very good team. Puka Nacua going for 225 in the last meeting against Seattle here in Seattle does make me a little nervous. The Rams are still number 2 in DVOA. The Seahawks still number 1. In theory, they're both still very good teams. Rather than the Rams causing people to not believe in them, Bump, I think that what's happened instead is the Seahawks have gotten better, even better since week 11, barring some questions about Sam Darnold, but we'll get to that in a minute. This was Chris Sims on Pro Football Talk in November leading up to that first game against the Rams. And he was asked by Mike Florio, hey, who do you believe in? Who are you picking in this one?
There's a big spotlight on this. This could be an NFC championship showdown. That's what we look at. In that environment, in that kind of big game, yeah, I trust the Rams a little bit more in that situation. I think I trust the Rams a little bit more on both sides of the ball. And not to say I don't trust Seattle, but I just trust the Rams and the fact that I feel like they're a little more battle-tested. They know how to play in these big games, and I think they're on fire on both sides of the ball right now.
Now, Chris Sims was right in predicting that this would probably be an NFC championship showdown. It quite literally is this Sunday. However, it's really interesting. Think about it. This is heading into week 11. We're hearing Chris Sims say, I trust the Rams more on both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball? What? This Seahawks defense is absolutely unbelievable. I think that I would be shocked if Chris Sims said that same thing this week is what I'm saying. I think that the Seahawks have made more people believe in them.
Chris Sims also said that the Hawks are going to finish 4th in the division.
We're all wrong about something.
We can't all be perfect.
I was wrong about my password logging into my computer this morning.
There you go.
Boy, those exclamations, they really trip you up.
I forgot that I added an exclamation point. I'm sorry.
No, if he looks at the Seahawks defense, I can understand if he said he trusts the Rams offense more than the Seahawks offense because you're dealing with Matthew Stafford, dealing with Puka Nacua. They're averaging more yards per game this year. I can get that. I don't think the margin is that big, though. It's not what it used to be. I would say going into the season, going into that first game, I would have said the same thing about the offense. I probably trust the Rams offense more than the Seahawks offense. And guess what? The Rams put up 581 yards, a franchise record as far as yards allowed by this defense, the Seattle Seahawks. I could get that. And I could accept it. I probably wouldn't even roll with it 100%, but I can accept it because I'm not ignoring what the Rams are offensively. They're a good ball club. But there's no ways looking at both sides of the ball and saying, I trust the Rams defense more than this Seattle Seahawks defense. Going into that first matchup, I felt like the Rams were the better team. I said that. I felt like they were the better team. I'm like, all right, man, they got veterans. They've been there. They've done that. Their resume is just a lot deeper, more bullet points in their resume than on the Seahawks resume. But we're talking about the conference championship game now. We've had multiple opportunities to see both of these teams go at it. We saw the Rams lose to the Falcons. We saw the Rams lose to the Carolina Panthers to give up 28 points. We know that they're human, and we know that they've been playing some decent ball as of late. All right, you had to go in overtime against the Bears to win that one, right? It was the Bears, yeah. You barely snuck by the Panthers. It's almost like the Rams get the benefit of the doubt no matter what they put out there prior to this game.
Yeah.
You saw the Panthers almost beat them, right?
Right.
You saw the Bears almost beat them. Still a good ball club.
Yeah.
But let's not act like this team is just invincible and can't get got. And when you have a defense that's playing at the level that the Hawks are playing at, you have a chance to win this ball game. So, Sims, I'm interested. I can't wait to hear from you. Put some respect on this Seahawks defense. Let's see what you say now.
Consider that the Seahawks defense, and this does include the second Rams meeting, but consider that the Seahawks defense, since that Week 11 game, has allowed more than 20 points once. It was to the Rams. That's important. But more than 20 points once. The Rams defense has allowed fewer than 20 points twice. They've allowed 30 or more 3 times.
Right.
It's not that the Rams defense is bad, but there is a more obvious, since week 11, there is a more obvious gap between the Seahawks defense and the Rams defense.
Mm-hmm.
Both are still exceptional units, but the Seahawks is suffocating in a very obvious way. Are we influenced by really dominant performances in back-to-back games against the 49ers? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But this is so clearly the best unit. I thought the best unit in the league this year. Some people would say Houston. Certainly the best unit remaining in the playoffs.
I was going to say that. Denver's out.
Yep.
I know
Houston's
Denver's
gone.
not out. They're not out.
But
you know what's going on over there.
Heavy winking.
With them. Texans are
They've
out.
already packed their bags.
Yeah. No, this is the best defensive unit in the game right now that's left over. And it starts up front with the bigs. Get to that second level, we got Ernest, All-Pro. Nick Mwari, the most versatile player in this game. I'll say it again. Drake Thomas, a guy who's overachieved and playing at a high level. You got both your safeties who are healthy now, and 2 lockdown corners. No, it is. And if he doesn't say that, or if the national media does not say that, then it's just a bias and they're being lazy and they're not watching the film. I'll give the Rams the offense, but I think this defense can slow down this Rams offense.
Well, and I'll give the Rams quarterback. And maybe there is something with Matthew Stafford's finger that will affect him. I don't know. He's not coming off his best game ever, but he's the MVP frontrunner with Drake May and is an exceptional quarterback who's won a Super Bowl before and has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league basically since he entered the league, even with losing Detroit teams.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's Matthew Stafford. There are still questions about Sam Darnold, and now Sam Darnold has an oblique injury. The Seahawks' run game isn't what it is now. Or excuse me, in week 11, it was fine. Perfectly fine. Last 4 weeks, they've had 160 yards on the ground or more. Back to back to back to back. This is a different Seahawks offense.
It is. And it's going to be different in a different way and another way, too, because K9 should get a few more carries. Who's the number 2 going to be? We shall see. I don't think it matters. I said that before. I'll say it again. But, yes, there's a different type of confidence with this offense, too. I think that Sam is back to playing to his efficient self. He's not being asked to throw the ball 30 times. And maybe he might have to this game. Who knows? I don't expect the Rams to shut down this run game like that. But he might be asked to throw the ball a couple more times. I just think mentally this team is in a better place than it was the last time these guys met a few weeks ago, honestly. So, yeah, it's going to be a tight one, though. I don't think anyone's going to run away with this one. It's going to be a tight one.
But the tone has changed a little bit. I mean, we heard Chris Sims saying, look, the Seahawks are clearly very good, but I just believe in the Rams on both sides of the ball. And that was, while I might disagree with it, an educated football opinion. He also predicted that this would be the NFC Championship game. However, let's take a listen to a national voice now heading into this one. Joel Klatt says he likes the Seahawks in this one.
I still favor Seattle in this game. I really do. I think that it's going to be incumbent on Seattle to control the game at the line of scrimmage on the offensive side, keep Sam into a situation where he's not throwing in obvious down situations. And if they can do that, then they should win the game. Again, like they are a better team than the Rams. The Rams have a better quarterback. Okay. And then we all say like, well, okay. So unless Stafford goes out there and puts up another 400 or 500 bills, I still like Seattle.
I don't know how many doubters the Rams have in LA, but Joel telling Brock and Salk that he's certainly one of them.
I appreciate that. There's no doubt. And what I can't get out of my mind is that they escape the Panthers and the Bears. You know what I mean? Like and meanwhile, Seattle is just beating down their opponents, and in particular, San Francisco. I mean, that was incredible. The kickoff return, that was wild, man.
You can say that the Bears' offense is better and healthier than San Francisco's. What excuse do you have for struggling that much against the Panthers?
You don't have an excuse. My reasoning was that sometimes they're just matchups that get you. Mm-hmm. But if you are supposed to be the team that the Rams are supposed to be, you beat that team up, and they didn't do that. I was floating around X the other day, and I came across ESPN Radio Los Angeles, and they just happened to be talking about the match. I'm like, let me hear what they think about this.
Oh, this feels like eavesdropping. I like it.
And I was, I'm all right, let me see. I'm interested. And I forgot what show it was. I think it was the it was a clip on X. It was the Sedano and Cap Morning Show, I want to say.
It'd be funny if there was an LA version of Bumpin' Stacy.
It'd be crazy, right?
Well, what's weird is that their ESPN radio affiliate, the station that Bump is talking about, is 710.
It's 710.
Alternate universe us.
Here we go. So they're talking about this matchup, and in their mind, there is no way they lose this game. Absolutely no way. They think offensively they're better. They think defensively they're better.
Stop.
They think that Sam Darnold's going to cough it up 3-4 times. They don't think there's any way the Rams lose this game. They did say that it should be a close one. They don't think it's going to be a blowout. So the fact there was like no respect put on the Seahawks name, not even with the defense.
I take back the nice things I said about the Rams.
No, you know, we're just realists. We live in reality.
And we're classy.
They're living in a place where it's that L.A. arrogance. I'm from L.A. I know all about it, okay? And they feel like this team is destined. It's okay for them to feel that way, but for them not to put any respect on what this defense was doing or has been doing, it's crazy to me. So, yeah, ESPN LA 710, what's up?
Respectfully, you are insane if you think the Rams defense is clearly better than Seattle's. I think that doing a lot of heavy lifting in this argument for LA fan bases is Matthew Stafford with 450 plus against Seattle's defense in the last meeting. All people are doing is looking at Matthew Stafford putting up over 400, 225 to Puka Nacua, and going, oh, he carved up that defense. He knows what to do. Conveniently forgetting that in the first meeting between these two teams, it was his fewest passing yards of the season. Like the Rams completely overlooked that first meeting, Seattle as a team outgained them almost everywhere. Third downs, total net yards, it doesn't matter. Almost everywhere Seattle outgained them. And they should have won that game. They didn't lose that game to the Rams. Sam Darnold lost that game.
Here's the thing, man, is that I think both sides are valid in the trash talk. We can sit here and talk about Sam Darnold, what he's been doing, this defense, what they've been doing, the run game, how they've been doing it, and how dominant this team has looked. On the other side, they can talk and say, look, man, we've been on the road twice. It's been cold. We beat the Packers. We beat the Bears when it's overtime. We got Matthew Stafford. It's supposed to be like this. It's a conference championship game. It's not the AFC where we just feel like the Pats are going to run over the Broncos because of what's happening over there. This is what it is. All I ask, I'm not even asking, all right? This is what you're supposed to do, L.A. Put some respect on the best defense in the game. We got a front four that's going to terrorize your quarterback. We have the most versatile player in the game in Nicky Moore. We have an all-pro linebacker who you let go, thank you very much, who you let go, who's coming back for revenge. We got Cooper Kupp, the best blocking receiver in the game. We got JSN, who put up more yards than your boy Puka. Okay, more yards than your boy Puka. It's about to go down, man. Let's square up, man. Can we play on a Thursday?
I'm most bothered by saying the Rams defense is clearly better than Seattle's.
Yeah.
You can, if you want to make your Stafford argument over Sam Darnold, I'm not even going to fight you on it.
No.
Like, people are joking that Eagles fans, so they're saying, oh, if Sam Darnold is just like Jalen Hurts, you know, whatever. And it's like, well, Seahawks fans aren't forcing other people to call Sam Darnold a top quarterback.
No.
Seahawks fans are like, yeah, he's good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe you'll defend him and say, oh, you're moving the goalpost. But, like, there's a lot of pride taken in where the defense is right now.
And don't you dare compare Sam Darnold to Jalen Hurts, please. Like, don't you do that. Don't do that.
Whoa, you mean fans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I think we should reach out to them.
You want to reach out?
I think we should reach out and we should be like, hey,
I know some people over there.
We heard you.
You know
we
what?
heard you.
I'll make a text right
Yeah, and let's get a nice little wager going about just kind of like what's going to happen with both of these teams. I mean, you know, maybe I'll be wrong. This is the danger of being confident in your opinions, is when you're wrong, you're confidently wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be wrong. I don't think Matthew Stafford is getting 450 against this defense again. And I think that to completely ignore that he had 130 the first time is super convenient. Like, I don't know. I digress. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, reality!
Headline Rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, Felix Hernandez finished with just under 50% of votes in year 2 on the Baseball Hall of Fame ballot. But get this, he made the single biggest year jump of anyone since 1967. What's the real headline?
The biggest winner of yesterday was the Mariners marketing department.
Yeah, let's go King Felix.
Yeah.
Let's get it, man.
More material here.
The thing about Felix is that the way he ended his career wasn't the greatest, but you got to look at when he was in his prime, and he was dominant. Like, no one was touching that dude. You could probably put one guy in front of him if you wanted to when it comes to the best in the game. I'm happy to see this, man. I think he deserves it. This voting stuff is weird, man. It's I was looking at Felix, obviously, and I'm looking at everyone else who was trying to get in, who got in. Andrew Jones, big ups, grew up watching him with Atlanta. Beltran, I think, as well. But baseball voters are petty. I don't think they're petty, but they just hold grudges. They will hold a grudge till you can no longer get into the Hall of Fame. So I'm just glad that Felix made that big jump. I'm not worried about everybody else. I saw this jump and I was cool, but it made me go back and look at everyone else who's trying to get in and read some of these stories. And yeah, these voters are petty as heck, man.
Curtis, do you think that with the exact same stats, the exact same career, that if there was a World Series win attached to Felix, he'd be in the Hall? Or is this just that voting now is difficult and he just doesn't quite have like a sterling case?
I think, yes, if you attach a World Series ring to him, then I think it's as close to a slam dunk as you can possibly get. I also think the voters are just recognizing, like, Felix had no help during his years with the Mariners, and if he had just the tiniest bit of help, he probably would have gotten to about 250 wins, would have gotten over 3,000 strikeouts. Like, it would have been a much different story. We look back on Felix's career in a much different light, but I mean, almost 50% in year 2. He has 10 years of eligibility on the ballot before he's ineligible. I think this bodes very well for his chances going forward.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Chargers are hiring Mike McDaniel to be their new offensive coordinator. What's the real headline?
Okay, well, now the backup plan if Kubiak leaves is Michael Bumpus.
No, I'm good over here, man. I don't want none of the smoke from y'all talking crap all the time.
You said that if Kubiak ends up taking a head coaching job, you'd love to see McDaniel here in Seattle.
Yeah, I would, but obviously that's not going to happen. I think that's a good spot for him too, man. He's going back to California where he started, obviously Southern California, not Northern California. And his offense is good for a guy like Herbert. It's going to allow him to see stuff pre-snap. You're going to move guys around. You're going to run the football. You're going to moving a little bit outside the pocket. Justin Herbert is more mobile than people give him credit for. No, I like this move for McDaniels, man. I think he can revive his career, if you want to say that. He did have a top 5 offense in Miami. He did have a top 5 offense with San Francisco. It's the other part. And as you grow, you get to learn about yourself. And maybe him being with Jim Harbaugh, because he's a quirky guy too, right? Quirky dude. Got those 2 quirky individuals going at it, but Harbaugh's found a way to be quirky yet lead men. So maybe that'll help McDaniels, and he might get another head coach job somewhere down the line. But I like this move for him, man. Go back to Cali. You're with an all-pro type of quarterback. See if you can help him get to the next level.
And very curious to see what the offense looks like, not just with him as play caller, but with a little bit of help added for Herbert, who's so clearly talented.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3: the Seahawks have designated running back George Holani to return for practice. What's the real headline?
You know when you accidentally become really important at your job? Suddenly you're showing up and they're like, "Welcome back, George. We have a big role for you."
Yeah, somebody steps down, or they go on vacation for 2 or 3 weeks. This is George Holani. I remember liking him during the preseason. I remember him getting a carry inside the 20. That was when we really realized that Ken Walker's not an inside the 20 back anymore, I guess, because they're giving reps to George Holani. But whatever it takes, man. George, welcome back. Compete this week with Cam and Jones and see who gets that number 2 spot. But I'll say it again. It don't matter to me who the number 2 running back is. They're going to do just enough to give Ken Walker a break when he needs it. Just be good in pass pro, and let's continue to run that football, man. That's what it's about. Be stubborn with it. You don't have to have a $180, a $190 to have success in the run game. I would love that, but not necessary. Just be a threat. Make them pack the box so you open up things on the back end.
What would you say to someone who said, "Oh, but Zach Charbonnet is better in pass pro and was just tougher. Like, I really believe in him in goal line situations, and maybe I don't think that Ken can do that."
Zach Charbonnet is better in pass pro. That doesn't mean K9 is horrible at pass pro. I think the coaches know the shortcomings of each of their individuals, right? Their players. So what do you do throughout the week? You prepare them. This is on the coaching staff as well. K9 has to take responsibility and receive all that information, but coaches get him right. And then make sure you emphasize, we got to get downhill in these situations. K9 can do it. He's been getting downhill. Coach him up when it comes to pass pro. He's not horrible. People talk about K9 like he's a dummy. Like he can't realize,
They talk about him like finesse.
we're sliding to the left. I'm responsible for Mike to Will. Like, it's not that difficult. Where it becomes difficult is when guys blitz from depth. You slide one way, you don't see him, and you have to scan and go to the other side. Listen, he's an NFL football player. He can figure it out. Is it a drop-off in pass pro? Probably. But I have seen Zach Charbonnet get sat on his wallet, too. You're going to lose some battles. So let's support K9 in all phases of the game. I think he'll be fine.
Well, and you had a ton of high praise for the tight ends blocking in the last game.
Yeah, exactly. Keep a tight end in, that's going to help you.
Yeah.
There are ways to help out K9. But I think that if he puts in a good week of practice and these coaches prepare him, he'll be just fine.
Curtis, I have a retort for you from a listener. The 253 says, sorry, but Felix doesn't have the numbers to substantiate a Hall of Fame induction. He's a hometown hero and a Mariner Hall of Fame guy, but that's it.
False.
How about I retort to that
Tell him.
with one
I know that's
Jason
right.
Stark, somebody who has spent plenty of years covering Major League Baseball.
The other guy who I think we know now is going to get elected is Felix Hernandez. Felix increased his vote total by more than 100 votes. He tied for the biggest percentage leap ever, 25.5%. Very impressive.
Most guys who get to 50% by year 2 are getting it.
Also, I don't think that vote total is increasing the way it did, nor do I think he's getting that many votes if there aren't a lot of people around baseball who go, oh, Hall of Fame numbers.
Right.
Like, you don't have to be a multi-time Cy Young winning World Series starter pitcher to be inducted into the Hall.
Right.
There's a lot of guys in the Hall where it's like, didn't have the best numbers ever, but you can recognize, like, oh, this guy was special. And Prime Felix was special.
And looking at next year's ballot, maybe the only slam dunk on it is Buster Posey.
Also important context.
3-time World Series champ, MVP,
Yeah.
one of the greatest catchers ever. That's one vote that maybe Felix doesn't get, but like I still see his vote total increasing next year. I don't see it decreasing.
Connor in Bremerton. Man, the Bills owner fired the head coach in the locker room after the game. The weirdness to come from this press conference, which we will get to later in the show. It's coming up.
He said, meet me in the shower, dog. Let me talk to you real quick.
He said, over here in the corner, please. Just 1 second over here. At 11:30, we've got a lot of sound from the press conference today and then some updates from all of this. What a messy situation. Oh, and Josh Allen might need surgery. Now, that may not end up being a big deal because it sounds like he'll be ready for OTAs even if he does. But weird stuff happening with Buffalo right now. Coming up next, how Mike Macdonald is doing what Pete Carroll could no longer do.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big, it doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Enjoy easy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest financing for 12 months, plus a lifetime installation warranty. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. we can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Listen to the 12th man.
And Seattle Sports on 710, the home of the Seahawks.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart this Valentine's Day. Any style, any budget. Like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or hand-matched diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You know, I was thinking, Bump, kind of comparing Mike Macdonald and Pete Carroll. There's this really cool promotional video that came out from the Seahawks, a montage of Mike Macdonald's very, very first team meeting. Here's what it sounded like.
All right, we got everybody. Man, this is pretty awesome, huh, guys? Let's go. This is awesome. We got a hell of a program ready for you guys. One of the things I want you guys to feel going through this program is that we have a vision for you and this football team.
Here we go, fastball!
But today, all right, I'm going to take you here now, so stay with me. I want us to just take a minute here and fast forward to January NFC Championship. It's 30-something degrees. All right, it's wet. It's windy. All right, for them, okay? But it's just right for us. We're loose. We're focused. All right, we're confident. We just spent the last 9 months stacking every opportunity that we had to put us in that position.
I got one question. Do y'all feel it? This is what we send the
The team across from us in the other locker room, okay, they've seen the tape. They know what they're in for. 11 guys playing as one, every snap. They know that we're like that.
Fire to the end zone. Ball is caught.
They know that they're facing a bunch of men that won't give up. They know they'll face a team that won't die and won't quit. They know. It's inevitable. So let's go to work.
That was his first team meeting.
Let's go to work.
2 years later, here's that exact scene he was talking about. Cold January day here in Seattle. Another team coming to town knowing that this Seahawks team, the #1 seed, has been a hell of a defense all year long and a very explosive offense that just figured out how to dominate on the ground.
What's crazy about that is every coach has their introductory speech. You meet with your team, you're breaking it all down, and that was the first private one, right? I was there for his media, right? His first presser. That's different. You say all the stuff and whatever, but it gets real when it's just you and the guys in there, and you're putting this speech together. Every coach has it. Only few are able to deliver on what they say during that speech. We got an example down in Arizona. Different type of film, different type of speech.
Oh, you mean Jonathan Gannon?
Yes.
Oh, no, don't worry, Bump. I got that for you right here.
Who drove over here? Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus? Did you have fire in your gut?
Did you have fire in your gut?
Got chills. I've got chills.
I would run through a wall for that man.
Different feel, right? Even
Slightly
back then,
different feel.
even back then, we're like, oh, okay, we'll see. If I would have heard this Mike Macdonald speech in 2024 when he got the job, I would have been hyped up too. But saying it and delivering on that are two different things. To deliver it, you need to have a philosophy that you believe in. You can't be afraid to make decisions, tough decisions, which he made after that first year. You got to have a GM that believes in you and will support you with the personnel that you need to deliver on your promise and your philosophy. And it's all worked out. You got to roll the dice and take some chances on a quarterback that people thought flopped to end the season. Get rid of a quarterback. Get rid of a wideout. Bring in someone else. Have your number 20 pick. Take that #1 role. Like, so many things got to happen for you to deliver on that speech. And for him to do that 2 years later, I think is remarkable, man, because it doesn't happen all the time. More people fail in this league than succeed, whether we're talking quarterbacks, GMs, head coaches, it don't matter. Most people fail in this league because you don't all win a Super Bowl. You don't even have the opportunity to win Super Bowls. So, no, that was cool to listen to. Cool to watch if you go to Stacy's or my Instagram. I'm sure we have it up, and Seahawks as well. It's a cool thing.
I want to talk about messaging, how messaging works, how it gets through to players, whether it matters which generation players are coming from. Pete Carroll was obviously great with this. When Pete Carroll hit the scene, and we're talking 2010, 11, 12, obviously 13's when they go on to win a Super Bowl, 14 return to one. That era of Seahawks, clearly Pete's messaging and clearly Pete's coaching resonated. Obviously those players are exceptionally talented, but Pete's approach worked. Near the end of his tenure, I mean, listen to his interview with Brock and Salk.
Do you feel like your message is getting through to the players?
Ask them. Next.
It was clear at the end, I would imagine, that for whatever reason, not because he wasn't likable or smart, but for whatever reason, Pete's messaging wasn't working anymore.
Hey, big up Salk for asking that question, too.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do, sitting there with Pete Carroll, a guy who Salk probably interviewed for the last, 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. But that was the feeling, and people wanted the answer to that, and they got the answer without Pete answering the question. If you felt like your message was resonating with your team, that they were picking up what you were putting down, and you were confident, then you would say, yeah, you know what? I think my guys got it. We're moving forward, blase, blase. Pete was in a tough place right there, man. So big as Mike for asking that question. I also feel bad for Pete because he knew in that moment, I probably don't have these guys anymore.
So hear me out. I was talking to Curtis about this theory, and I don't even know that I'm right. I just think it's an interesting conversation. We were talking about, like, hey, Mike Macdonald has clearly resonated with players, and his messaging is working in a way that Pete's wasn't, 2 years before Mike got here, or a year before Mike got here, but 2 years ago. Why? And I wondered if part of it was a little generational. Now, I don't like to think I'm old, and I'm not, but I am a millennial. And I think that for that era of Seahawks players that were entering the league in 2010, 11, 12, something about Pete did work. Like something about the tone, something about the character, something about the messaging, whatever it was. And maybe Mike Macdonald's approach doesn't work then. Like there is a slight generational shift, I think, in players that are entering the league 10, 11, 12 years later. And maybe they are more swayed by a very serious approach. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it makes sense to me that Pete's tone and personality worked with millennial players, and that for some reason Mike Macdonald just works with this group.
Man, in all sports, ideas, approaches, philosophies, they phase out. Like my 2003 Lakers could not play in today's NBA. Could not play. It was half court, big man, triangle, walk the ball up. That's not how the game is played anymore. The philosophy phases out. And I think that happens with coaching as well. While you were talking, I was thinking about Mike Tomlin and how he was able to stretch out like 5 more years than Pete. And he stretched it out and no one wanted him to leave. And it's the timing of things. He got that job when he was like 35 years of age. He's 50-something, right? He's kind of grown up with these guys and grown up with the game of football and just the culture, which is, the NFL. You got different type of players coming in. I think Pete can connect with anybody.
Yes.
I do not
I
doubt
think he's
that
exceptional
at
there.
all. Can connect with anybody, a great dude. But sometimes a different connection is required to get the best out of a certain generation. I think maybe that's what's happening. This is all speculation. I'm not in the building with them.
Yeah,
but
well, that's what this is.
Just going off of human interactions, right? Even me, when I was a head coach at Monroe my first year, I was 28 years old. Man, my connection with them kids was on point, right? I'm only 10 years older than my seniors. And as I got older, my last time coaching, I was 38, 39, and the connection was different. It was more authoritative. Like I'm not buddy with you anymore. I'm a older man, and it's about making those transitions. And I think maybe the transition was lost with Pete and his loyalty. It's always going to come down to that too, man. You got to get guys around who are growing with the game. And a guy like Andy Reid's been able to do that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it just didn't happen with Pete. That doesn't make him a bad coach or a bad person. It's just sometimes you kind of phase out.
I love this question, and I wish I would have saved more time for it from the 206. When we talk about messaging, what does it mean exactly? I've heard Mike Macdonald say stacking wins or stacking success stories a lot, but that seems so simple as a message. That can't just be it, is it?
It's the messaging and then your approach reflecting that messaging every single day. Stacking days, chasing edges. And, yeah, you got to brainwash your team. Like, your team has to be completely bought in and brainwashed to everything that you say. But at the same time, you got to show that you are a reflection of that message, and you got to get the players to want to do the same thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. And no matter the coach, Pete had to have this, and Mike Macdonald did too and clearly does. You need some version of an authenticity or a believability. Like, I have to believe as a player. I've heard this. It's obviously not my experience. I have to believe as a player that you know what you're doing and you believe in what you're telling me to do.
Yep. And I'm going to go out and execute to the highest level because I believe everything you're saying.
Trey Wingo joining us in 20 minutes. Before we get to that, Get Off My Lawn coming your way next. Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike Macdonald. The bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle Sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory, well, it goes to Mike. Hey, Mike, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I moved here from New York City and found this great guy. It got pricey, but because he was good to us over the years, we stayed loyal to him. But then one day I got an increase that was quite unacceptable. So I made one phone call. I didn't do any shopping. My wife told me to call First Mark.
Mike, were they able to save you and your family money?
Oh, yes. It was over $100 a month.
What would you tell others they can expect when they call First Mark?
The most competitive pricing that you can find. And they had terrific customer service. Even if you're on the phone with them, you can tell they have a smile on their face, so you can tell they love what they're doing.
Do you wish you would have made that call earlier?
I was just kicking myself as you were speaking because I didn't do it sooner.
Well, you just heard. Mike did it. My family did it. You got to do it too. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Your windows and doors play a huge role in your home's efficiency and comfort. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors for windows that are up to 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and reduce noise by up to 50%. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com today.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host Hack.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! Seattle Sports is giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game. Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
Oh my word!
Open the Seattle Sports app, then click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win. The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game.
And Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Trey Wingo joining us in 15 minutes. Before we get to that, Bump's got 3 things grinding his gears this week, making him yell, "Get off my lawn!" What's bothering you this time, Bump?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Get off my dang lawn.
Get off of it.
Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
Got rid of McDermott. We're going to talk about this a bit more, but, I already had it on my list, so I'm going to talk about it.
That's okay.
All right? You got rid of McDermott. Since 2016, he has the second most wins, only behind the Kansas City Chiefs. 8 playoff wins. Only missed the playoffs once. And you got your owner going out there and your GM going out there looking real silly right now. And now they went back and had a press conference to try to backpedal out of some of the stuff that they said. You clearly said, oh, man, I made the decision because we lost to the Denver Broncos and Josh Allen was crying. So you're going to ignore everything else that's happened before this. You know how many times Sean McDermott has not had a double-digit win season? Twice. His first 2 years. Twice. He won 9-7, then 6-10. Then he won 10 games, 11, 13, 13, 11, 13, 12. I look at this team, and there's not enough here for them to win a Super Bowl. There's not enough. You got Brandon Cooks, cool. Khalil Shakir, cool. Keon Coleman, who's in the middle of a whole bunch of drama because now they're talking about, oh, that wasn't the GM's decision. That was the coach's decision. Y'all look like some shady you-know-whats over there. My man McDermott gets fired. Now you're pointing the finger at him like it's his fault that this isn't working out. The Bills, you should be ashamed of yourself. Someone's going to get McDermott, and he's going to do some great things over there. He'll do some wonderful things. I'm just mad that you let a good guy go. There's only like really 8 to 10 really good coaches in the league. Everyone can coach, but I'm talking really good coaches. He was one of those. The Bills, you look silly. And now you're backpedaling, and I hate it. I hate it for McDermott, but maybe it's better he got out of there because y'all don't have his back anyway.
What's next?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I got out my car today, Stacy, or I went to the gym this morning. It was 28 degrees.
Ooh.
Ooh, it's cold. Thank God I have that button you push to start your car and let it warm up. I ain't got to touch it, right? Boom, start that thing. And then I had to do I played the game that a lot of people play in the mornings where gotta go get some gas. I played the gas game. I'll get it in the morning, jacket up my whole schedule.
You played yourself.
Played myself.
Played yourself.
Going to the gas station, get up there, pay for it. Gas is getting pumped, and I look outside, and I see a young lady with a hoodie on and sweats, cold, put in the gas. I'm like, oh, man, poor baby. Maybe I should go help her, right? I look in the car. Her man is sitting shotgun, and he's not out pumping that damn gas. Wow. You get your butt out that car, and you pump that gas. I'm old school. Ladies, if your man do not get up and pump that gas for you, he is done. He is selfish. Get him out of here. I don't care if it's snowing outside, sleet, hell. It don't matter. Ladies, there's 2 things you should not do if you got a man. Pump your gas and take out the trash, right? 2 things you should not do. I tell my sons all the time, if I hear your mama taking the trash out, I'm coming after you. Take the trash out, pump the gas, get your lame you-know-what out the dang car, and help your lady out and pump that dang gas. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed, man. Come on, man. And they're young. So maybe, I don't know, 2025, do things different. No, that's your lady. She's cold.
Man.
Even if it's like your sister, she's cold.
Yeah.
Your mom, she's cold. Your grandma, she's cold. Pump the dang gas, Buster.
Great, get off my lawn.
Goodness
Shame
gracious.
on that young man. Okay, what's last?
Last one.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yesterday, I said this, Matthew. So I was trying to figure out how can I describe these two. And if you watch NASCAR, right? I watch it sometimes. I'm not like an enthusiast or anything like that, but I watch NASCAR. When you start the race in NASCAR, those cars look pretty, man. They're pretty. They're shiny. By the end of that race, those cars are beat up, right? The fenders are all jacked up. They're smoky. The drivers hop out of their cars. They got dirt all over him. That's Puka Nacua. He's violent, he's dirty, he's gritty, he's going to go get it. JSN, he's a Formula One car. Right? It's more prestigious. It's more smooth. Those cars don't rub. They don't touch when they race, right? You touch, boom, you're going to be in trouble there. That is who JSN is. He's the smoother type of receiver. He understands how to create space with his body without really using his body, more to spatial awareness, to where Puka Nacua is a receiver that's going to run through you. He's going to be violent. JSN, just a more smooth receiver. They both have exceptional ball skills. They both are number one receivers on their team. They both play in schemes that allows them to cross the middle and get open. But when it's all said and done, Puka Nacua's NASCAR, JSN Formula One.
Great analogy.
Thank you, Stacy. So I said this yesterday. I'm sitting here in the sports pit. RPD, Kyle comes out here. He goes, man, 425 trying to take your take. I'm like, what are you talking about? So Salk and Brock and so we're talking about JSN and Puka Nacua, and when we're trying to describe them, and 425 text in JSN's Formula One car and Puka Nacua's NASCAR. Plagiarism. Don't you try to take my take and then hit up the homies and try to take it as your take. You take my take and you take it to the bar and you can act like it's yours. and you know what? And maybe half the time someone's going to be like, actually, I listened to Bump and Say Show. And Bump said that. You are a fraud, 425. No. Whoever you are out there, you tried to hit up the homies? Not even like the homies. Like, not even the homies. You hit up the homies on their show and try to pass my take as if it is yours. If I ever say anything that someone else has said, I always give them the credit. Hey, I heard this from that. I heard this from that. Plagiarism. Fraud. Don't you take my takes and try to pass them off as yours. Integrity, 425. Integrity. I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed. Right? I understand because it was a fire take. I understand. It was fire. But I'm disappointed in you, 425. Do better than that, man. Come on.
I feel like there are certain takes that sometimes you think like, oh, you know, this person took this or someone else will think it. But it's something like, I don't know, Sam, I think that Sam Darnold's going to throw 3 touchdowns in this one. Like, okay, anyone can say that. Like, just random predictions or random takes that anyone can make. That's a pretty specific analogy, a very specific analogy.
Didn't even say, I heard Bump say.
The day before.
Come on, man.
Less than 24 hours before.
You think you sneaky? Streets is talking. We got yours back over here, homie. We got Brock and Saul. We got Bump and Stacy. We got Woman and Bob. All right? Don't be trying to hit the homies and pass my take as your take, man. But you know what I do? You listening, and I appreciate that. Now let's work on this relationship because trust has been lost now.
425, right? I think it's important that you text in. I know you're listening.
Text in, yeah.
You obviously listen.
At me.
Just
hey,
Bump.
I forgive you.
Look,
I forgive you. But listen.
I want to make good.
Come on, don't do that. Don't take my takes. Take it to the bar. Wow. Take it to the bar, not the homies.
Trey Wingo next. Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike Macdonald. The bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
It's the Clearance Savings Spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Luxury has arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and the all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel is now open, featuring a destination spa, the expanded non-smoking space, and breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can catch every game at Hawks Peak, over 66 televisions, plus that 2,000-seat entertainment venue and exciting new dining options. Effortless style, the utmost in relaxation. You can book now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
1877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1877 Cars for Kids.
KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
At 65 years old, Brian has a rather demanding hobby.
My biggest passion is snow skiing, and I ski between 70 and 80 days per year. And I ski instruct at a private resort in Montana.
Needless to say, that can be a bit tough on the joints.
When this knee started to bother me, I thought I'm doomed.
That's when Brian decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
If I did yard work or skied a few days in a row, I was fighting swelling and pain and no sleep and all sorts of problems, and that has absolutely gone away.
So are you back on the slopes?
I mean, I had a 14-day stretch with clients where I skied every day and I had no problem. It was fine. It was just like, I felt like new.
So I'm guessing you would recommend this to others.
Oh, I already have. I've told everyone that'll listen.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
It's really, truly a miracle.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay, plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Bills quarterback Josh Allen may need foot surgery. The team announced in a press conference today. He injured his foot in Week 16. If he does undergo surgery, it would not affect his availability for OTAs this offseason.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Trey Wingo joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline, host of Straight Facts. Homie, Trey, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Excited to be talking about a game. It's funny. I mean, weeks and weeks and weeks ago, people were saying, this feels like an NFC championship game matchup. I mean, entering that Week 11 game, and then here these two teams are. Maybe we should have seen it coming. Who are you favoring in this one? I'll start with the obvious question.
It's gonna be hard to look at Seattle as not being the favorite, even without Zach there. I mean, that crowd noise makes such a difference, and if they can get it started the way they did last week against San Francisco, it's going to be difficult. You know, both the games actually between these teams this year were phenomenal, and you know they went down the last second, even though Sam had all those giveaways in the game at SoFi. You know, those two games were indicative of just how close these two teams are. And it's going to sound stupid and trite, but that doesn't mean it's not true. The team that makes the fewer mistakes is going to win. You know, you go back and look at the divisional round. Every team that lost the turnover battle lost. It's that simple. In the playoffs, points and possession are precious. Hang on to the ball, try and take it away, and maximize every opportunity to put points on the board. Something I could not believe the Bears didn't understand in that divisional loss to the Rams.
Hey, Trey, why do you think a lot of the national media has made a shift towards the Seahawks, man? Just a week ago, I'm listening to all these guys talking. It was heavy Rams. There's still Rams, favorites out there, guys picking up the Rams to win this game. But why do you think over the past week or so the shift has been towards the Seahawks?
Home field advantage, 41-9. Those are the first two things that come. Was it 41-6? I can't remember. Whatever it was. It was a lot to a little. 41-6. Right. Those two things tend to sway people's minds. Look, the only road team that won the divisional round was the Rams. There are some places where the game's at home, but there's not really a home field advantage. There's a massive home field advantage at Seattle. We all know this. And they looked the best. They were the most dominant. Now, granted, they were going up against a 49ers team that was really depleted with injuries, and there'll be a lot of questions for the 49ers going into this offseason. You know, I think Kyle's had the most injured team in football 8 of the last 9 years, and now you got, Trent Williams at 38, McCaffrey's 30, Kittle's, 32 coming off the Achilles. It's going to be an interesting offseason in San Francisco. Not that anyone in Seattle cares about that right now. But I think that's why the shift would be. You guys are at home, and you guys kicked mother-loving ass against the San Francisco 49ers.
I want to ask you about the Rams' last 2 games, and for that matter, we could throw in kind of their end to the season, which included near the end of the season a loss to the Falcons. Trey, I can't tell what to make of this team right now. They're clearly very, very good. They're still number 2 in DVOA. They allowed 31 from the Panthers, nearly lost to the Bears. Is that a bad thing? Are there questions in LA? Or is it impressive that they've got 2 close road wins heading into this one? I can't tell what to make of it.
Well, here's what I would say about the Bears game. I think the Falcons game, they knew they had no chance of really doing anything, so it was just sort of whatever. You know, I mean, the things that they had set up at the end of the season, at the beginning of the season to be their goals were not achievable at that point. So I don't put much into that. I will say that what I was curious about, if you go look at the way the Rams played and the play calling against the Bears, they had 2 touchdown drives in that game. Those were the only 2 touchdown drives where they decided to make a commitment to the running game. And you watched all the other drives in between where it just felt like conditions be damned, field be damned, wind be damned, we're going to throw the ball. And you saw how many times coming out of breaks, receivers were slipping and falling. And when they committed to the run in that game against the Bears, those were their 2 touchdown drives. Those were mostly predominantly running play drives. And that would be something that I would be interested to see how they're going to attack on Sunday, because they're a better team when they're balanced. And they're, Sean is a little bit like sort of a Mike Martz light sometimes. You get so crazy about all the weapons and fun things you can do, you forget that fundamentally the game is won at the line of scrimmage. And at the end of the day, those wall of men dominating the other wall of men matters more than anything. And the only time the Rams were the more physical team against the Bears is when they committed to the run. So I'm curious to see how committed they will be to doing that against Seattle on Sunday.
Yeah, I am too. And if they are committed to the run, I wonder how involved Puka's going to be. We know he's going to be involved, right? 225 yards the last time we saw him. What is it about his skill set in the Sean McVay offense that allows him to get off the way that he does?
Well, I think it's just the fact that I don't know if it's his skill set in that offense. I think it's just his skill set. I mean, the guy, and there were a couple of plays in that Bears game where, okay, it's a critical go-to moment. You know they're going to Nakua, and they still found a way to get open. It reminded me of when the Rams won the Super Bowl against the Bengals in Super Bowl 56, where Odell went out with an injury, and then their offense got stagnant in the second half until Matthew Stafford and McVay said, screw it, we're throwing it to Cooper Kupp every time, no matter how many people are on it. And that's what they did. And Cooper at that point was at his peak, and he found a way to get open. And they were going to ride their number one dog until he collapsed. And I think that's what happened a couple times in that game. They just have an undenying faith that Puka will find a way to either get open or make a ridiculous catch if he's not open. You know, I mean, a lot of those times when Stafford throws those balls, Puka's not open, but he just finds a way to come up with a catch. And I think that's just his innate ability to sort of direct towards the ball, which is something that a lot of receivers in the NFL are not nearly as good at as he is.
The most common sentiment I hear about Sam Darnold is that he's fine, but may end up being the liability for an otherwise very complete, stout team. How do you see Sam Darnold?
I see Sam as very accurately portrayed by what you just said. Now, again, you know, the last time they played, he was awesome after a shaky start. And the last time they played before that, he was terrible, and then did the thing that I think is the hardest thing to do. I mean, he was terrible in that game at SoFi. Yet, having played terrible, he still found a way with everything on the line on that last drive to give his team an opportunity to win the game. Now, granted, it was a long field goal attempt, but something that certainly was within Meyer's field goal range. He'd made that kick before. He gave them an opportunity. Like, to me, that's the thing I took away from the Rams' win over Seattle is that, wow, they got all those turnovers and they barely held on to win. Like, to me, that's a sign of a really good team. Like, if you lose the turnover battle like that, you should get blown out. And like I said this at the time after the game, I think the thing that I took away from it, which I said on the Straight Facts Only podcast, was that Sam delivered. The hardest thing to do is, like, not suck after sucking, right? Like, I think Seattle people will appreciate this. The NFC Championship game in 2014 against the Packers,
yep.
Russell was terrible in that game. He was god-awful until the fake field goal, right? And suddenly he had a chance to win. And down the stretch to tie it in the fourth quarter and to win it in overtime, he was a different player. Tom Brady in Super Bowl 51 was awful through 3.5 or 3 quarters against the Falcons. And then when Dante Hightower got that strip sack fumble with 8 minutes to play, down 28-12, Tom Brady became Tom Brady again. To me, that's the hardest thing in the world to do, is to be terrible and then course correct in the game. And we've seen that from Sam on a couple occasions against the Rams. I think that has to give you optimism.
Zach Charbonnet won't be available, obviously, with an ACL injury. So we're going to see a lot of Kenneth Walker, man. And I love the way that he's been playing. He seems decisive. Any concerns with the run game, not having Zach Charbonnet, a guy who has 12 touchdowns for this team, or do you feel like K9 can handle it?
Well, look, obviously you want to have all your weapons, and we probably won't be – this game probably isn't in Seattle if Zach doesn't do what he did on the 2-point conversion, right? Just nonchalantly go there and touch the football. So, you know, that play, that sort of, oh, should I even do this, literally changed where we're playing this game. And that is what I find really super fascinating about all of this. I think there's plenty in Walker's tank to make up for it. But, you know, look, you're going to have to find different ways to get production. When anybody goes down, this coaching staff has to be a little more creative about how we can manage things, because this is a guy who is super impactful for us. So, yeah, I think that that's always going to be the challenge. I don't think it's going to be a death sentence. As long as they don't turn the ball over, I think that they have a really, really good opportunity to win, because that defense is so suffocating.
We're talking about, I shouldn't include the Rams with this, but otherwise some teams that have made some big turnarounds. The Broncos getting to the playoffs last year after that drought following 2015 Super Bowl win. The Patriots, the obvious story, going from 4 wins to the number 2 seed. And Seattle in an interesting way. I mean, Mike Macdonald inherited a 9-10 win team, but a stagnant team. It was like the Steelers of the West. Yeah. Like, they weren't winning postseason games, and they weren't bad enough to get crazy draft picks. And you've seen from each of those programs turnarounds in very different ways. So kind of an abstract question for you, Trey, but I can't wait to hear your answer. What's key to a turnaround? Like, what works when a coach comes in? What works about messaging? Like, what gets that momentum to help teams turn things around?
Well, it's really interesting, right? Because we hear this all the time when somebody is hired. Like, oh, he's bringing a different culture to the team. That culture only lasts as long as the W's are in the win column, okay? Like, you can have the greatest culture in the world, and if you don't win, it doesn't matter. You're getting fired. Joe Judge, when he came over to be the head coach of the Giants from the Patriots, oh, he's bringing that culture. That lasted a season and a half, okay? Like, winning is the ultimate deodorant. The messaging works if you win. It's true. The messaging works when you win. When you don't win, the messaging sucks, and it could be the same damn thing. So it really, we like to mythologize this, right? And we like to, well, there's this aura, there's this and that. It all boils down to what's on one side of the column and what's on one side of the other column. If there's more on the W side than the L side, then the culture is great and the message is great. If there's more L's than W's, the culture sucks and the messaging sucks. I hate to, it's not complicated. It's not difficult. It's not some sort of, Harry Potter spell. It's bottom line results. We have almost a third of the NFL with a new head coach in 2026 than they had in 2025. 10 guys lost their jobs for a variety of reasons. And all of them was because they didn't win. It's just that simple. Nothing else matters. So we can talk about culture and messaging and construct and leadership. As long as you're winning, that works. When you don't win, it sucks. It's just that simple.
Hey, Trey, you've covered the NFL for a while. Do you feel like coaches now on a shorter leash than they were maybe 10 or 15 years ago, or is this pretty consistent?
Well, no. I mean, we've had other years where we've had 7, 8, 9, but there's no question that, you get a guy like Raheem and what happened with him, how quickly he was let go in Atlanta, or, the firing midseason in Tennessee where you finally get Callahan, a quarterback that you believe is the number 1 overall pick, and he doesn't even last, 5 games into the season, 6 games into the season. That's ridiculous. There are other things, though, that I do think it's important. Like, I put on, the episode we taped before the Ravens-Steelers game. One of these coaches is probably going to lose their job after this game. And as it turns out, they both lost their jobs. Those are the longest tenured head coaches. I have people saying, I have fans in Kansas City saying, man, our coaching really stinks. We got to, really? You want to move on from Andy Reid? You really want to do that? I can remind you who the coaches were before Andy got there. Herm, my friend, Romeo Crennel, and Todd Haley. How'd that work out? You've been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls, for crying out loud. You guys are friggin' nuts. That's dumber than dumb. I do think there's a lot of impatience, but the culture really, for me, comes more from the ownership, right? There's a reason the Dolphins are always looking. There's a reason a lot of these teams are always looking for something. The real culture comes from the ownership and the ability they have to let their GM and coach run their business as a hands-off situation, unlike Jerry Jones, who quoted Donald Trump, "I'm running Venezuela." Well, you're running the Cowboys has sucked because you haven't been to the conference championship game in 15 years. 30 years, I'm sorry, 30 years. They haven't been to a conference championship game in 30 years. So if you're running something, you're terrible at running something. That's where the real culture comes from. It's ownership, not coaching and GMs.
I'm getting so off track, but I just love this topic. Is that what happens with the Jets? We were just talking about, what did the Jets even do? And it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yes,
what happens there?
Happens with the Jets. Well, we have a terrible owner. Yeah. We have another terrible owner. What have they done during Woody Johnson? Well, to be fair, it's the Jets. They haven't won anything since before man walked on the moon. And yes, kids, I hate to break your YouTube conspiracy theories. Man did walk on the moon. We thought the lack of information was what made people stupid. Turns out that wasn't it at all, because everybody has the information. There's some pretty dumb shit out there, for lack of a better term. The organization is terrible in New York. They don't have a plan. And they don't have when the stories come out that his teenage sons are telling him what to do because they play Madden, that might be the problem. I mean, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that might be part of the problem.
Trey, we could talk to you endlessly.
For real.
This has been really fun. We do have to let you go. You've been generous with your time. I do want to tell people, obviously, a lot of NFL stuff. We've been talking NFL all day. But with Straight Facts, homie, Trey also has a number of really great episodes on the PGA Tour and some big stories out of golf. And I know pretty much every single one of our listeners is a massive golf fan. So go listen to that as well. He is Trey Wingo. Thanks, Trey.
Thanks, Trey.
You got it, guys. Anytime.
Have a good one. Matt, you had to jump on that dump button pretty quickly there.
Sure did.
That's a great interview from Trey Wingo. I love Trey Wingo. He's always got takes, hot takes. Although oh, yes. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. What's an example of one man's trash being another man's treasure?
The All-Pro. Obviously, I paid attention to our All-Pros. I'm like, okay, look at our guys out there doing their thing. Let's get it. But then I went deeper. And Mike Jackson, All-Pro, did not know that. Mike Jackson was here for a while. Me and him rode on a bus together in Munich, Germany, really connected a bit. And he's over there with the Carolina Panthers balling. It's not really trash and treasure. It's just, look, I'm a better fit over here, so I'm going to do my thing. You got Jordan Brooks. We all know Jordan Brooks was a baller over here, led the league in tackles a few years. He's All-Pro with Miami. Devin Bush Jr. was the biggest one that really caught my eye. I'm like, what? Devin Bush Jr.? Let me check, make sure this is the right guy. Number 0? Yeah. Over there with Cleveland, he made an All-Pro team. And then on the flip side, you got Ernest Jones over here, who was on that Rams Super Bowl team, who's now with us. You got Leo Williams, who was on that bad New York Giants team, who is now with us. This is the NFL, man. Sometimes you see something in a guy and you figure, yes, he will work in our system. So you know what? Let's bring him over here and get her done. Example with 5 guys right here. With different teams, we're okay, but you make a shift, you become All-Pro. I love to see it, man. So big ups to the coaches that saw something in these guys and allowed them to develop in their program.
Second down. All right, well, how could the Seahawks matchup against Puka be better this time?
All right, so I went and broke down like 3 plays. The biggest plays he made. There's a 54-yard touchdown he made. All right, it was against 12 personnel. It was nickel. It was maybe cover 4 or cover 6. Puka starts outside. He motions inside, and he has an angle. He's going across the field, and for some reason, Kobe bites down. He's the far safety. Bad angle by Kobe. He scores a touchdown. Not a touchdown, but a big play. It's a 3rd and 3. That was a plus 58. It's against 13 personnel. 1 tight end, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. The Rams came out in that personnel group, but didn't necessarily pack it in all the time. They spread guys out and found matchups, right? There's a big play right there for 58 yards, and then the last one was a 41-yard touchdown. Again, 13 personnel, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. It was against nickel, 3 robbers. So cover 3 robber means that you start with a 1 high safety. All right, the other safety goes into the middle of the field. He's jumping on anything crossing the middle of the field. That was Ty Okada. There was a post ran by the tight end and then a dig ran by Puka Nacua. Okada jumps on the post, 2 safeties on the post, dig underneath. The rest is history. McVay found ways to get Puka in the slot and get these matchups. He was working those safeties. Safeties are going to have to have a big day this week against Puka Nacua because Sean McVay found the matchup against the safeties and exploited them. Like I said, he also came out in 13 personnel, 1 tight end, one running back, 3 tight ends, but he split them out. So when you see that personnel run onto the football field, your mind as a defensive coordinator is going to a different place. He splits them out and messes up your calls, man. And we need Spoon to follow number 12. When Puka's in a slot, Spoon needs to be there. If we're not going to put Spoon on him or follow him, you have to reroute Puka Nacua. There were times there was no reroute. He's just running free and getting on our safeties right now. How are you going to switch that? I say 21 follows him all game.
How do you get someone to reroute? Or how would you get Puka to reroute?
You just put your hands on him.
Yeah.
You don't, whenever, especially a slot, usually I'm working a triangle. It's the outside defender on the second level, the corner, and the safety. I'm reading that triangle. That guy on the second level, it could be a nickel, a safety, or a backer. All they have to do to make me work harder is just get your hands on me. Make me have to adjust my route a little bit. There were times where Puka's just flying right up the field, no reroute, butt naked, 225.
3rd down. Let's hope it's not 225 this time. What type of game do you want from the Seahawks Saturday?
Honestly, I don't want a high-scoring game. I don't want it. I want a low. I want a 17-7.
Oh my.
You know, I want a grinder out there because I feel like the Hawks are the tougher team to beat in those situations, in the low-scoring games. They can get into a shootout. They're more than capable of getting into a shootout, but that feeds into who the Rams are. The Rams are like the the Golden State Warriors, right? Running up and down the court, doing their thing. Whereas I feel like the Seahawks are more of the half-court offense, like the Spurs back in the day, is work the ball around. They can put up a lot of points. They're capable of doing that. But if I had to pick the style of game that I think is the most advantageous for the Seahawks, it would be the lower scoring game, the 17-7, the 20-10 type of game. And because we're just tougher. I feel like we're a tougher ball club.
Imagine if the Seahawks get to Super Bowl 60, having in their previous 2 games combined to allow like 10 points.
It'd be beautiful.
13 points.
I'd take it.
Unreal.
Every time.
4th down. Anything about the moon from our conversation with Trey Wingo?
Nothing about the moon. He believes man jumped on the moon. You know what? I'll hit up Trey and we'll have a conversation about that.
Anything else stand out?
Minus Matt having to hit the dumb button, which I love. I love when Matt gets all nervous and has to hit that button. He said, Sam Darnold, the hardest thing to do is not to suck after sucking. And I like that. That means not playing good after playing bad. Bouncing back. That's what he did with the Rams. And I think that's important because a lot of guys go out there, you play bad, and you feel like that's just who I am today. I just don't have it today. This is who I am. And that was not the case with our guy. He also said, I love this quote, man. He said, winning is the ultimate deodorant. That is beautiful because it is. Because if Gannon were to go into that meeting and say, you feel that in your gut? We rolled the bus here. And they were winning, we'd be like, man, were they feeling it?
We're all riding the bus.
Well, we rode the bus, man. Where's my bus pass? I'm on that bus.
Fire in your gut. It's a probiotics commercial.
But you know what he didn't have? Deodorant.
Yeah.
They wouldn't win them ball games.
Yeah, fire in the gut and no deodorant.
No deodorant.
That's a recipe for a problem.
And then he said, culture comes from ownership, which I get, and then I disagree at the same time. I think in some cases it does. With the Jets, that poor culture comes from ownership. With the Seahawks, this great culture comes from Macdonald and Josh Snyder. I don't think it comes from ownership. Jody, do your thing. We appreciate you running the system. Boom, we love you. But Jody's not down there talking about culture and philosophy and stacking and edges and all that good stuff. That's from Mike Macdonald, and then you throw some Josh Snyder in there as well. Trey Wingo, I've been watching this dude on ESPN for like 20 years now.
Love Trey Wingo.
It's fun that when he comes to on to our show. But yeah, Trey had me rolling today.
I wish that if I had like a follow-up question for Trey when he was talking about, you know, it's not even about messaging. Like there's not some secret sauce special, you know, fairy dust. It's just about winning and losing. You win more, people are happier. They buy in. You lose, people start to question, which I do believe in.
Yeah.
I think what I'm most curious about is like, but what about that little transition period? Like when Dan Campbell had the Lions, they won like, I think 7 of their last 9 or something like that. But ultimately, when he started out, they were still very much struggling.
Yeah.
Or like with Vrabel, when he took over for the Patriots. Well, they had only won 4 games the year before. I know that they won, 12 or whatever this year. But like, what about when all of it first starts? Like, what has to be special about a coach? Is it like that he's clearly smart? Is it that he seems sincere? I think that's the transition I'm interested in. And then once you start winning, obviously people are like, oh,
yeah,
I'm buying in.
Just buy in.
I'm curious about that part of it. Like, how do these guys convince you if you start the season 3-1? You know, the New England Patriots with Mike Vrabel dropped an early game week 1 to the Raiders. It's not like that's going to stop buy-in. But
the thing about the league too is that everyone understands, and at least the coaches have to convey this to the young guys. You're going to lose ball games. You're not going to win every single game. You got to be able to correct and get right.
Well said. The Bills held a press conference this morning with team president Brandon Beane and owner Terry Pegula, and they didn't hold back anything.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
The new year is finally here, and you could kick the new year off right by getting in shape and making Top Fitness your first stop. Hey, Brock, you're here with my friends at Top Fitness, where their stores are celebrating the new year with some great deals. You could take your New Year's resolution seriously with the very best fitness gear there is set up in your home by our professional installers. They sell the best quality products available. Brands like Precor, True, Octane, Inspire, and Hyrox. come in now and check out the best deal of deals on treadmills. Their Precor 885 treadmills that are lease returns normally sell for over $13,000, now only $36.99, including a full 3-year warranty. This is the same commercial treadmill sold to health clubs worldwide. And every new treadmill, elliptical and home gym, well, they're all on sale. They got the largest selection of home fitness equipment in Washington, and their staff will show you why. It's no secret why everybody from pro athletes to personal trainers love their stores. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
See your favorite Seattle Mariners up close at the Peoria Sports Complex. Come to sunny and warm Peoria, Arizona to celebrate an AL West championship and the beginning of another great season for your Mariners. Spring training in Peoria has plenty of sunshine, warm temperatures, great food, and the best seats in baseball. It's family fun for fans of all ages. Book your trip today. Support your 2026 Seattle Mariners in Arizona for what promises to be another exciting season. Get your tickets at PeoriaBaseball.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Listen to the 12th man.
And Seattle Sports on 710, the home of the Seahawks.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event. Powered by WFC, Friday night, February 6th. A night of professional boxing where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, February 6th at Emerald Queen Casino, the boxing capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax-free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form
that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
A weird press conference in Buffalo. The Bills held a press conference this morning. Team president Brandon Beane and owner Terry Pegula did not hold back anything. All right, let's get to everything here. The first is what I feel is the awkward part. So Keon Coleman has been a disappointment for Buffalo. That's just a fact. He was disappointing this year. The wide receiver group as a whole was disappointing. People felt that they should have added Jacoby Myers at the deadline or done something more. Pegula wanted to make sure everyone knew who was responsible for that Keon Coleman pick.
Yeah, Can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player. And, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it. But I'm here to tell you the true story.
That, to me, not only incredibly awkward, Keon's in that building still. He's with your team, but also just unprofessional. There are players, Bump, you hear more than I do. There are players that maybe Pete wanted a little more than John. Maybe a coaching assistant wanted more than everyone else and was pitching for him. And we've heard the rumors of some of these names. Have you ever heard John Schneider say, honestly, I didn't really want that guy? No.
That's not what you do, man. That's horrible leadership. That is horrible leadership. Whatever decision is made in that building at that time, you guys move together. This is what happened. I don't care if that coach is gone. Now it makes you look like you're just not loyal. You're not loyal. You're a snitch. You're not loyal. And I wouldn't want to work for you because you're going to throw me under the bus to save your, you know what. That's horrible, man. This is why I'll give him benefit of the doubt here. He's an older guy. And maybe he felt like he was protecting his GM. That's what he was trying to do. But I think in his attempt to protect his GM, he ruined his reputation low-key because he's the type of guy that's not going to stand with any decision made by the organization. And you're going to point the finger, man. No one wants to work for that. But someone is going to work for that because there's only 32 teams in the league, and everyone wants to be a head coach.
And Keon's in the building.
And Keon is in the locker room right now talking about for real.
You've created a new problem for your new head coach, whoever that ends up being. What would you do if you were Keon Coleman? He seems like a happy-go-lucky guy. He makes lots of jokes.
I wouldn't do anything. I just wouldn't mess with him no more. There's no hellos.
That's crazy.
There's no what's up. I'm just going to work.
Pegula later added that the loss to the Broncos was the final straw with them.
My decision to bring in a new coach was based on the results of our game in Denver. I saw the pain in Josh's face at his presser, and I felt his pain. I know we can do better, and I know we will get better.
He later added the reason to fire McDermott wasn't just that loss to Denver, but that they'd hit a playoff wall, and it did become obvious there.
I did not fire a coach based on a bad officiating decision. If I can take you into that locker room, I felt like we hit the proverbial playoff wall year after year. 13 seconds, missed field goals, the catch. So I just sensed in that locker room, like, where do we go from here with what we have? And that was the basis for my decision.
So he's saying through those two cuts, look, the Broncos loss was the final straw, but it was by far, it was not the only reason.
Yeah, he should have opened with that.
Yeah.
That should have been his first remarks. You know what I hear? A little bit of Jerry. Not Jerry, we'll call him James. This is James right here. Like an older guy who doesn't realize how to work the media or how to be honest, yet show some loyalty to the people that you've employed and worked for, and then having to constantly go back and backpedal and try to fix some things. Sometimes as owners just let your GM, let your president do all the talking. That's why you've hired them. That's not Jerry, that's James.
You know what my take is on owners in general and why it's typically better that they just not say anything at all? Because most owners are billionaires or very, very wealthy, successful people who are not used to needing to consider, like, you have to be successful or born into a certain family, or successful to get that money in the first place. Most of them very shrewd, hardworking, whatever. But one common thing I hear from the Jerry Jones of the world and different owners is this kind of foot in mouth moment because they simply don't have to consider whether they offend other people. They do not have to consider whether or not someone else's job becomes difficult. They don't have to consider, it's like, I get what I want. I'm a billionaire. I don't have to be polite. I don't have to do it. I don't have to think about consequences in the same way you have to think about consequences. With my business decisions, I will, but not with standing in front of these reporters I don't care about.
Here's the difference between this guy and Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry don't care about being polite. I think he genuinely cares about being polite. He just couldn't articulate it and put it all together in a way to where everyone felt like they were being spoken for in a way that reflects some type of loyalty. Because I hear it in his voice, but it's also like, obviously there's some of that in him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, Jerry just be like, I don't give a. This guy was like, all right, I may have messed up. Here is what I'm thinking.
Okay, Jerry in general is, I guess, kind of a unique person. I would in general just advise, if I was like a PR person to owners, I'd be like, the least amount of talking possible.
For real.
Just the least amount of talking possible. You're already going to get barbs. Some of them you'll deserve, some you won't. And I just simply wouldn't say much of anything. Last one here. Brandon Beane also took exception to people accusing him of winning a power struggle against Sean McDermott.
That's hurtful to even hear that or say that. Like, I worked 19 seasons starting as an intern in Carolina and worked my way up. I came here and I've never tried to do that. I would love for anyone who's making that accusation to walk in these doors and ask any person, player, coach, trainer, anyone. Like, people can disagree with draft picks that I make or people I sign or I screwed up the wide receivers, whatever it is. Like, those are harmful things that, I walk in the door and my wife's got tears coming down her face for stuff like that. And I'm going to damn try hard to win a Super Bowl here. I am. But for somebody to question my character like that, it is BS.
Now, I would think that that's totally fair to say, hey, this isn't a power struggle. I didn't win something. We just kind of got to this place where we thought we needed to change. However, adding fuel to this fire bump are comments that Sean McDermott made about the trade deadline. He said, well, I thought the moves that the Jags in this case made offensively, adding Jacoby Myers, good pickup for them. Probably a guy that's quite honestly undervalued in his career. And then kind of hinted that, like, would have been nice.
Yeah.
So I don't fully believe
there were guys available.
Brandon Beane.
Jacoby Myers was available. Shaheed was available. Thank you for missing on that one. Waddle was available. There were some moves. You're looking at Josh Allen, and you see the receiving core that he has, and we all knew it might not be enough.
Mm-hmm.
You would need Josh to have that season he had when he had like 35 passing touchdowns and 15 rushing touchdowns, something crazy like that for this team to win. You can't rely on that. So no, I agree. And what we don't know is that we don't know what the conversations behind closed doors were if they tried to acquire these guys and just didn't want to put up the funds or whatnot. But those three names alone, I think, would have helped you in this journey.
Next story, before Lakers fan Bump calls this fake news, an explosive new report from ESPN's Baxter Holmes is out on the infighting between the Buss family before they decided to sell their majority stake in the Lakers. The report also sheds light on Jeannie Buss's frustrations with LeBron James and the influence LeBron and his agent hold over the organization. It says that Jeannie began to turn on LeBron years ago, grumbled about LeBron's outsized ego, felt that Clutch, the agency, exerted too much control, didn't like how LeBron was considered a savior.
I mean,
there was
he was.
a lack of accountability over the Russell Westbrook trade, privately mused about not giving him a contract extension and even about trading him, and felt LeBron was not grateful to the Lakers that they drafted Bronny. They also begrudgingly gave him a contract extension, fearing a bad PR hit.
I don't think it's fake news.
I believe all this.
I'm not a LeBron guy, so I've said that plenty of times.
That's true.
I respect who he is and what he means to the game and all-time scoring leader, all that good stuff, yeah. But I can see all of this being true, and I can see half of it being true. We got to take both sides into account. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that this relationship is coming to an end because LeBron's career is coming to an end. Makes sense.
Your Seahawks are in the NFC Championship game, and we've got 2 tickets to get you in the building on Sunday. Just open the Seattle Sports app and tap the Win tab to find out how to enter. If you don't have the app, no problem. Text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter every day to increase your chances. This contest runs through today, so enter now only on the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, how the Seahawks and Rams have changed since their first meeting.
Brock and Salk.
The defense was just so good.
Morning 6 to 10.
236 total yards. Honestly, if you had asked me after the game without looking how many yards did they give up, I would have said like 136.
Kyle Shanahan has coached 163 games and is a 49er head coach. He's been held under 7 points just 4 times in those 163 games, and 2 of them have been in the last 3 weeks to your Seattle Seahawks.
Amazing.
Only on Seattle Sports.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! Seattle Sports is giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game. Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
Oh my word!
Open the Seattle Sports app, then click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win. The Mariners fix you need during the offseason.
Fans are on their feet and listen to this.
The Uncruise Adventures Hot Stove, Tuesday nights at 7 on Seattle Sports.
Between his hobbies and decades of work in a boatyard, Philip had put his body through a lot.
I'm an avid fly fisherman and an avid skier. It takes its toll.
Not to mention one other thing.
I had a near fatal motorcycle accident. Absolutely obliterated my lower left leg again.
Philip couldn't live with the pain anymore, so he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Listening to all these radio spots, I said, what do I got to lose?
What was your experience like with Dr. Wagner?
What I was so impressed with Mark about is that how often you have a surgery like this, and the guy calls you the next day to see how you're doing. I can't say enough good things about the guy, honestly.
And how are you feeling now?
I have no pain, none. Zero.
Wow. So would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I'm a fan, believe me. I'd recommend it to anybody.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net. Esta canción que canto, amigos.
Experience the iconic Mexican music group Bronco at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, February 28th at 8 p.m. They've sold more than 20 million albums and performed for audiences all over the world. Now Bronco is bringing their modern take on regional Mexican sound live to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Tickets are on sale now at muckleshootcasino.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Seahawks and Rams, heading into Week 11, their first meeting, were considered two of the best teams in the NFL. Heading into Week 16, they were considered the two best teams in the NFL. Heading into this conference championship game, they are quite literally two of the best and remaining teams in the NFL. But it's not like this matchup all three times this year hasn't been seen as potentially a toss-up, right? It's not like everyone favored the Rams the first time and everyone favors Seattle this time. We're splitting hairs here. However, I think that each one of these games has carried a slightly different flavor and slightly different expectations and a changed understanding of Seattle. I wanted to talk for this third meeting about what's changed. What's changed for the Rams and Seahawks ahead of this game? Bump, I'll start with Seattle. What's changed for Seattle?
The run game, that's the biggest change, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got a team running for $180, $170, $135. I mean, collectively, this run game has gotten so much better. And I feel like it's because of, one, the running backs just committing to the run, giving it a chance, pressing the B. And also I think it's because the tight ends and receivers have been blocking their butts off too, man. A.J. Barner, Eric Saubert, and Cooper Kupp, O.J.'s in there too as well, have been doing their thing. And the offensive line. I think the offensive line understands just the angles a bit more, and they're getting after them. So the run game to me is the biggest difference when it comes to these two teams. I feel like the Hawks have taken a step in one direction, and the Rams, they're not taking a step back, but they haven't really improved the way that the Hawks have. I'm looking up stats from, let's go to like October 12th.
Okay.
There we go. Come on, clean. October 12th. When it comes to rush yards per game, the Rams were at 112 per game, and the Seahawks were at 113. So now let's fast forward to this week. What's today? Let's go to the 18th, right? Nope. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Go to 18. Now the Hawks are.
They gotta be.
There you go. They are, what did I say, 112 the last time?
Mm-hmm.
They are at, damn, where are you? My eyes deceived me. They're at 126, good enough for 7th, and the Rams are 126 too. So both have improved, but I feel like the improvement on the Hawks end is more advantageous because it allows Sam Darnold to be more comfortable when it comes to throwing the football.
Yeah.
We know Matthew Stafford is good with throwing the ball 50 times. We saw him, or saw a stat where he threw for 500 yards in the rain. You know what I mean? This is what Matthew Stafford does. That's his profile. It's not Sam's profile.
Yeah, I think one of the questions heading into that game against the Rams was the consistency of the run and yards per carry. And over the last 4 games, and you've been tracking this, looking specifically at Ken Walker's improvement, but over the last 4 games, the Seahawks have rushed for no less than 160 per game.
Mm-hmm.
That's new. Even though the averages by the end of the year look similar, this is a team that's getting hotter, which is great. The Rams, again, I hesitate to say they're a team. They're amazing. They're a phenomenal team. This will not be easy. I'm favoring the Seahawks in this one with home field advantage and with how the defense is playing. But I think the Rams have been their toughest battle all season long, and this will be their toughest battle. I think this game, if the Seahawks are able to win it, will be tougher than the Super Bowl. I fully believe that. But I think there are some new questions that people have about the Rams, and don't take my word for it. This was Joel Klatt on with Brock and Salk.
I appreciate that. There's no doubt. And what I can't get out of my mind is that they escape the Panthers and the Bears. You know what I mean? Like and meanwhile, Seattle is just beating down their opponents, and in particular, San Francisco. I mean, that was incredible. The kickoff return, that was wild, man.
You were favored by 10.5 over the Panthers, the single biggest favorite of Wild Card Weekend. I know you were on the road, but it doesn't matter. It's the Panthers. They fell backwards into an NFC South title. And you won it by a field goal. You also allowed 31 points from them. Had you not surpassed them with that field goal, the Panthers would have been tied for the most points in Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah, it took a lot to beat a team who kind of fell into the playoffs, right? Needed some help at the end of the year for them to do that. Real quick, a note on the run game. One more. Last 3 games, let's narrow it down to that because we've seen the biggest jump with these guys maybe the last 4 or 5 games. The Rams are averaging 124 on the ground. The Hawks are averaging 172. So
that feels like a pretty massive difference.
That's a big disparity there. But yeah, you have to look at the style at which these guys are winning ball games. And I understand people looking at the Seahawks and say, well, they beat the Niners twice in 3 weeks. All right, you still did. And you beat them in different ways. You beat them with a grinder and 13-3 was the score, I think it was.
In the final game? Yeah.
Then you whooped that, 41-6. Yeah, they had some guys down. I understand that, but you still did it. You look at the way that the Rams have been winning. They're squeaking by these guys. They're squeaking by Panthers team. They're squeaking by a that was early in the season, but you're squeaking by
the
Packers?
Bears now.
The Packers.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like they're the dominant team that we were seeing midway and earlier in the season and towards the end of the season. Still respected. A win is a win.
Yeah.
I can't poop on them for winning ball games because I always say a win is a win in the NFL. But the way that you're winning can foreshadow the type of game that can be played when you have to come over to Lumen. Respect is due. I get it. But I feel like the Hawks are riding high right now. And they're riding high with evidence because the run game's popping. The defense is good. Sam's taking care of the football. You just blew a team out. And Jason had 19 yards, something like that?
He's like, 20-something?
I think it was 19.
Oh, my God.
19 yards and 1 touchdown.
What a bum. Cut him. Last, minute and a half here, 2 minutes. You recently rewatched that Week 16 Thursday night game. It was for one of your 4 downs. But the reason I ask is, look, it's the last time we saw these two teams meeting. And even though the Rams have had some struggles since then, I also think that you see in that game exactly what makes them deadly. Was there anything in watching that tape where you felt more confident for the Seahawks or felt like they can fix this?
Yeah.
Because they allowed 500 plus.
Yeah, I feel like now that you've seen how McVay decided to attack you when it comes to getting Puka open, you're going to have answers for that. He's going to have something else he's going to put out there that you haven't seen before when it comes to getting Puka open. Not too much. You don't change your whole game plan. But you've seen the best of Puka, the absolute best, and how McVay has schemed him up. So now when your safeties, your linebackers, visually, things look familiar. You see that motion, and you say, you know what, I'm going to narrow it down to these 4 or 5 concepts, right? You're able to anticipate things a bit more. There are going to be a few wrinkles in there, but there's nothing like going into a game and having a team go out there and try to attack you the same way and you being prepared for it. It's hard to be prepared for the unknown, though.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to limit Matthew Stafford to 130. I also don't think they're going to allow 457. It'll be a tough battle, but I hope you're right. I think you're right, and that they'll be able to fix some of that. And short week, too. I don't know. I feel like that's a factor. At least, especially for defense, a quick turnaround. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being optimistic here heading into this one. Speaking of heading into this game, we're going to take a listen to Mike Macdonald scheduled to speak with reporters next. Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike Macdonald, the bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Luxury has arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and the all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel is now open, featuring a destination spa, the expanded non-smoking space, and breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can catch every game at Hawks Peak, over 66 televisions, plus that 2,000-seat entertainment venue and exciting new dining options. Effortless style, the utmost in relaxation. You can book now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
See your favorite Seattle Mariners up close at the Peoria Sports Complex. Come to sunny and warm Peoria, Arizona to celebrate an AL West championship and the beginning of another great season for your Mariners. Spring training in Peoria has plenty of sunshine, warm temperatures, great food, and the best seats in baseball. It's family fun for fans of all ages. Book your trip today. Support your 2026 Seattle Mariners in Arizona for what promises to be another exciting season. Get your tickets at PeoriaBaseball.com.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Pro Football Writers of America have named Seahawks receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba as their Offensive Player of the Year. Congratulations in order. Bills quarterback Josh Allen may need foot surgery. The team announced that in a press conference earlier today. He injured his foot in Week 16. If he does undergo surgery, it will not affect his availability for OTAs this offseason.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Taking a look around the NFL while we wait for Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald. I'm going to start with this one. Do you guys remember yesterday in the timeline how we played you the cut from Bill Simmons' podcast where he just kind of forgot that the Seahawks won a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
He just said, like,
Canada plays 18 or 19 games. They got 2 bye weeks. All their mode.
A nightmare in scheduling, but I just think that it sounds stupid to say the more you add, the more rest you need to give guys, but your product is going to get worse when stars aren't on the field. Baker Mayfield, hang on, one more story here with Kraft. He was also asked about the future of Gillette Stadium and the wave of dome stadiums being built across the league.
So when I bought the team and I realized Buffalo had gone to 4 straight Super Bowls the year before we bought, and it made me realize that I never wanted to have a dome. Even though they didn't win any of the final, they won games because the players don't like coming up into a cold place like that. How many of these indoor teams the playoffs want to come here and play outdoors. And so we're going to look with a salary cap. You got to get every competitive advantage you can. I don't know that I've ever said that publicly. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls because people had to go up there and try to win. And, we want to keep it upgraded. We, as a family, will look at this like our home, and we do the maintenance it's not some government entity running it. I'm pretty proud of this stadium compared to other publicly financed stadiums. And please God, we have a lot of great playoff games here in the future.
Robert Kraft saying no to dome stadiums. No, absolutely not. And thinks that the Bills benefited from not having one.
No, I'm against dome stadiums. Only ones that should be domed up are Minnesota. That makes complete sense because you get 40 inches of snow and it's crazy over there. But no, football, it's meant to be played outside. I'm not mad at any teams already done, and the Colts too. I get why they have a dome. It's meant to be played outside. Only sport that needs everything covered is baseball. Baseball is not meant to be played in snow, in rain, and let's keep it consistent there. But football, man, I want all the weather.
I will say, front office sports looking to build a dome stadium. What if it spells the end for the Chiefs? Curtis, did you have a stat earlier about dome stadiums?
Domed teams in conference championship games while playing on the road are 0-15.
That is a crazy number. When you get into harsher conditions.
Never won a conference championship while playing on the road.
Getting into harsher conditions on the road.
I love it.
Is ownership, and John Mara is running football operations here, and he's running it, and I'm glad he is, and that's also all the families and everybody involved. That's where it starts, and we respect that, right, Joe? And we want our bosses to be happy.
Joe Shane was asked about Harbaugh reporting to ownership rather than to him.
Everywhere I've been, the head coach and general manager work together. That's the only way it's going to work. And get on the same page, go through the process. Again, we've done it everywhere I've been, so I'm not worried about it. Like you said, that's just something on a piece of paper. Doesn't matter. We need to work together, and we're going to come to the final conclusion. And it's always going to be about what's best for the New York Giants. So I have no problem with that.
Oh, we'll see how it ends up working out. Maybe back to that story a bit later, but we got to get to Mike Macdonald coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical. What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
There's tons of stuff happening this January, and believe me, whatever you're into, you can have an absolute blast doing it at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Take, for example, the playoff games. Watch every game at Porter's Bay Sports Bar and Book. Cheer loud with the 12s and enjoy a steak dinner at their steakhouse on property right after. Stay the night in one of their deluxe rooms and wake up feeling like a winner. If dry January is your kick, enjoy a relaxing stay at the spa and have a good night's rest. If you want to test your luck, winter warm-ups coming up every Friday for a chance to win 5 Gs and polar payouts every Saturday for a grand prize of 10 Gs. Claim your free daily entry at any promo kiosk on property. That's all you have to do to enter. Silver Reef Casino Resort is the spot. Check it out if you haven't, but if you've been, you already know what you're missing. Stay tuned. They have events for the big game and the Garth Guys, a tribute to Garth Brooks that's coming soon. All you got to do is drive up I-5 exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game.
And Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with people come first.
Luxury has arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and the all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel is now open, featuring a destination spa, the expanded non-smoking space, and breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can catch every game at Hawks Peak, over 66 televisions, plus that 2,000-seat entertainment venue and exciting new dining options. Effortless style, the utmost in relaxation. You can book now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Your Seattle Seahawks are in the NFC Championship game, and we've got 2 tickets to get you in the building on Sunday. Just open the Seattle Sports app and tap the Win tab to find out how to enter. If you don't have the app, text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a download link. Enter every day to increase your chances. This contest runs through today, so enter now only on the Seattle Sports app. We are waiting to hear from Mike Macdonald at the podium. When he steps up to the podium, you'll hear Matt say this.
Stacy's at the podium where you're not going to.
Yeah, exactly. Good job.
Your mic was off. We heard you, though.
I turned Curtis's mic on instead of mine.
We heard you,
But
though.
you still heard me. I yelled very loud.
That's how loud. That's how loud you were. As we heard you through Curtis's mic. I was like, wait, is it my headphones? What's going on here? No, Matt's just going to frantically interrupt us and let us know that Mike Macdonald's talking. So it'll be a very sudden diversion, but we want to make sure that we carry the press conference live for you guys and send you there the second he steps up to the podium. So, Bump, I'm sorry that the question I'm asking you might get interrupted, but here we go.
How dare you?
I am wondering how Mike Macdonald is going to be in this third meeting. Sean McVay has playoff experience. He's done this before. I have a lot of faith in Mike Macdonald, but I'm wondering what it's like to learn, like what kind of lessons he's taking from these first 2 meetings and what he might be carrying into this one. I guess what I'm saying is I need Mike Macdonald's defense to look better in this game than it did in Week 16.
I can guarantee you, almost guarantee you, that they ain't putting up 581 yards. Not going to happen. Last time that happened, Paul Moyer and Dave Wyman were on the football field, and they were not proud of that. They were happy that, that they no longer have to carry that burden of 581, but they still lost that game. That's crazy.
I know.
No, it has to be better. There's no way Mike Macdonald's not going to have these guys prepared for what the Rams have put on film. That's all you can prepare somebody for is what they have shown you. So you go deep. I mean, obviously you take the last 2 games, but then you watch the games that you played against them and try to figure out, okay, where did they beat us? To me, it was the way that they got Puka lined up with these safeties and the way they manipulated the safeties and how the Hawks didn't get any reroutes on Puka Nacua. There were no hands on him, especially when you're in the slot. When you're outside, it's a bit harder to put hands on a receiver. When you're in the slot, man, you make a move. You get into a space. You make him adjust his route a little bit. I think that is something that I'm looking forward to seeing. And then how do you handle 1 running back, 3 tight ends when they're not packed in? Because they move 87 outside. They move Parkinson outside. And it challenges what you think is going to happen when you see that person that runs out there. That's why McVay is such a good coordinator, because he keeps you guessing. But no, there's no way that they're not going to cover or have covered everything that they put on film.
What about the real impact or influence, I should say, the actual influence of, in this game, of Sam Darnold's history against the Rams? You looked up his interceptions. Last week, you looked up every single interception. You found some concerning ones against L.A. It feels like the conversation, I just heard Jeff Saturday talking about this on First Take, feels like the conversation people are having about Sam Darnold is, well, he could be a liability here because he's bad against the Rams.
Yeah, that's what history says, man, and you cannot ignore that, right? He hasn't had, 6 interceptions against the Rams he's had so far this year. And when I broke it down, I'm looking through my trusty notes right now. I broke it down to, all right, he had 6 interceptions against the Rams. In total, he has 14 interceptions. 6 against the Rams, 5 were poor decisions, 3 were tip passes, and 2 he was fooled by the defense. Those 2 were against the Rams. He was fooled. And then the other ones were just poor decisions. And then another interception against the Rams, a PI wasn't called, but a safety, it was Cooper Kupp running like a slot curl. He was held at the top, but then the safety from the other side ran all the way across the field and made that interception. That was a heck of a play. So I'll give him 3.
Sure.
I give him 3 against the Rams, which seems fair to me.
Is this like playing hero ball, mistakes that you're putting on yourself, or is this a take that I heard leaving Week 16, something the Rams just have on them, where it's like some defenses just know how to play certain guys?
Cut the interceptions in half. In 2 games, if he's thrown 3 interceptions, do you feel like the Rams have his number? No, right? They but there we go.
Listen to Coach.
All right, great to see everybody. Just had a great walkthrough, and gonna go try to have a heck of a Wednesday and go from there. So, what we got?
Mike, how's Sam doing, and what's the plan this week? Is he gonna have to be limited at all in terms of how much he throws?
Yeah, Sam continues to get better. He's not going to be a full go the whole week, so we have a plan. We're going to work through it, see how the day goes, and then we'll kind of take it day by day and then take it to tomorrow. But he won't be like throwing every ball, every play for the whole week, no.
What about Charles Cross? Are you expecting him to practice today?
Charles did walk. We're kind of working it through with Charles right now, so we'll see how it plays out the rest of the day.
And how's, while we're on the injury subject, how's Josh Jones doing?
Yeah, I don't believe Josh is going to practice today, so.
Could George get activated? Could George get realistic to play Sunday? Can he get ready that fast?
Yeah. George is in great shape. He's been working his tail off. We're excited to get him out there. I haven't seen him practice in a minute, so it'll be fun.
Are there certain games where there's a clear advantage that you try to game plan to exploit, and other ones where it's such a close game, such a close match that you focus more on what you want to do versus what the opponent presents?
No, I mean, if you talk to me from Monday to Thursday, there's just a lot of problems, that you're trying to solve, and that's every week. And as you start to kind of feel like you have some things that you want to be able to do, and you see the guys execute in practice, it starts to come into focus as the week starts to, get towards the end.
I think over the course of 2 games, the point difference is like 1 point, yardage is like 1 yard between you and the Rams.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about when you 2 match up, why it's such tight games?
Well, they're a really good team, and they play hard, they play together, they got really talented players, they got a great scheme. It's a great matchup. So it's right where we should be at this point in the year. It's pretty cool.
What really makes Puka Nacua stand out? I know it's the obvious size and things like that, but just in general.
You name it. Ball skills are tremendous. So a lot of those contested catches he's coming down with, body control, on the sideline, being able to make plays. He can kind of do everything, so you can't just count for him for doing one thing. He's great in the run game. He's great running after catch. He kind of gets like hidden yardages, which is a testament to his toughness, and so he does a lot of great things. He's a really good player.
You've gotten obviously exposure to the offensive side of play calling. What are some of the differences between offensive play calling and defensive play calling?
Well, defensively, you're just kind of inherently reactionary. It's hard to dictate terms defensively because they're allowed to do whatever they want and line up however they want. So I think that's probably the most fundamental difference. At some point, though, the tables do turn based off of something that maybe the offense would expect, and you're in something different or a different presentation or a different personnel group. So, but that's where it starts, is just they're kind of dictating terms initially.
You guys had a positive turnover differential against every other team in the league this season combined. What was the difference in those 2 games, you think, against the Rams, and how do you change that this time around?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think you're looking at a really small sample, and it's kind of like 2 independent observations that happen to not go our way, takeaway wise. So you look offensively, hey, there's some things we could do better to protect the ball. Special teams wise, I thought we've been pretty sound, with the football and been secure. And defensively, I think there's some things that we did in the first game that was really good, that we took the ball away, and we had some ops this past game. And it's kind of like, are we doing, are we doing the things that we need to do defensively to kind of put the ball in jeopardy and be able to attack it? And so it's kind of like a play-by-play, game-by-game type of thing. And they do a good job of protecting it, you know, so. But that really doesn't really have an effect on like how we prepare what we're trying to do in terms of making the ball come to life.
When you look at the two games, what have you thought of how the Russian coverage has worked together to try to affect Matthew?
I felt like we've been on point sometimes, and not so much especially the second game. But look, you got to tip your cap to them. They played a great game. Stafford played a tremendous game. I mean, Puka obviously had a great game the second game, and they did what they did to put up all the yards and points that they did. And we got to figure out a way to, to stop them this time. And as a team, I'm proud of the way that we figured out a way to win the game, given what happened on defense.
Mike, with that second game, that's the only team that's kind of been able to do that against you guys anytime recently here. What kind of stood out to you when you went back and looked at it about what kind of went wrong that game and how you're looking to flip it this time?
Well, first you got to give them credit. They had a great game plan, and they made a lot of great plays. So they had guys open, and when they didn't, they still made some plays. And I think the explosives really, inflate the stats a lot. That's how you get. The only way you get to a number like that is by some really explosive plays, and those are good plays by them. And plays that we have to execute it, better. But when I'm thinking of that game, I'm thinking of, hey, got punched in the mouth early, and then our guys regrouped, and we kind of put ourselves back in a position to go win the game defensively. So there's positives and things you want to grow from that game for sure.
After that game, and then I think after the Bucs game earlier, you said kind of similar things about how you maybe gave them too much game plan wise, and I know that second game was on a short week, but
yeah.
Do you have a better feel for like the right amount of what they can handle and everything?
Yeah, you're always going to go into the game hoping that this is the right. You're kind of at that sweet spot. But look, anytime the result doesn't go your way, I got a big hand in how we play too, and so you got to look inward and say, okay, well, what were some of the inputs throughout the week that maybe I could have helped the guys out better, or even in the game about some of the play calls that we made. And there's several in that game where you want back, and it stings to say. It stings that that's the case, but that's the case, So you got to confront it and say, okay, well, what are the things we can do throughout the week to put ourselves in a better situation where we can help our guys out more? And so that's the mentality. It's the same thing after Tampa Bay, and you can feel it in real time, like when your guys are in a certain position and it's not necessarily advantageous for them. Well, turns out that's on the design of the play and what you're asking them to do. So you can feel that in real time for sure.
You guys haven't had a chance yet to get Matt Stafford on the ground, no sacks yet. How much of that do you see as the rush and how it was doing versus coverage? I know they work together.
Well, again, they do a really great job of getting the ball out on time and playing decisively. So we have to disrupt timing. It's really the fact of the matter. And we've gotten to him a few times where he's gotten rid of it and thrown the ball away, which have been smart decisions where he hasn't put the ball in danger. So I think there's some good plays that we're putting on tape to be able to affect him. It's not as much as we want or as frequently as we want. But I think you're talking about that's a product of like how you're playing early down football and situational football to put you in those moments where maybe you can dial something up.
When it comes to preparation, now that you've got a 2-game sample size of the Rams in the playoffs and your team in a playoff game, does that change anything about how you prepare, evaluate, or look at just kind of what's out there?
Well, you're always going to use what information is out there. So since we have the extra game that we can watch, which is great, but that really doesn't affect our process at all. We're just it's actually like I didn't do any work on either of these teams on Sunday because I did that and I just wasted a whole day in the round before. So it's just like, look, let's just take it like a normal week. So Sunday happened. Let's go to work on Monday. Let's do our normal Monday. Yesterday was a normal Tuesday. Let's do what we do on Wednesday today. And it's week 20 now, which is kind of cool. The guys were fired up to hear that in the team meeting today.
On that note, you've spoken a lot about that, about maintaining kind of that routine and that mindset in the process. When you walk in and there's a different backdrop and there's some other little different new things, do you allow yourself to feel the magnitude of it, or is that for some time down the road?
Yeah, I think it's going to be natural to like kind of have like your mind's going to go there, and it's going to happen to all of us. But I mean, it's really just it's not like we're we're just going to ignore it. It's like no, just come back to center because that's kind of what it's just not important. You know, what's more important is what we do on the things every day that's within our control. And it doesn't mean you like can't enjoy the process and appreciate where you're at and have gratitude for what our team has been able to accomplish at this point. But that's really what I'm asking the guys. That's a good reminder to me. Giving you this answer is just, hey, when it happens, okay, great, and then just come back and how great can we be at refocusing throughout the week.
Mike, you have been in a conference title game before in Baltimore. What do you kind of take away from that experience? Anything you learned from that to kind of
Yeah. Look, a lot of our philosophy is coming from, our experiences, right? That's how you generate, these thoughts on things, and so that has helped shape, why we do what we do, why we treat it just like another week. There's some things we took away from that game that you kind of said, okay, if we were going to get there again, we'd handle it a little bit differently. From my perspective, not from like how John built the week or anything like that. It's just how you want to get your team ready to go.
Like we've been hearing from players from you all year about how close this team is. That Week 11 loss, Sam has a tough outing. We hear what we heard from EJ and all the defense picking him up. I'm wondering just like how clear an example that is, and then maybe what the lasting effect of it is, and if you haven't lost since then, and just maybe how the team rallied around that.
Well, it's funny. I think if you took a straw poll from the guys around the team, I think that game was a game where it really came into focus about what type of team we could be, and that we have a special group that was resilient as heck and had each other's backs, and we're going to stick up for each other and fight like heck for 60 minutes and really becoming the team that we wanted to be. We started to have some real evidence of it, even though it wasn't really the outcome that we wanted. So kind of glad that it happened. Kind of like, it's stunk in the moment, but given where we're at now, like that was a important part of our season that I felt like something maybe we had to go through to get to the point where we're at now.
The team released a video today of you during the first team meeting talking about a vision of the NFC Championship. When did that become the vision, and that was what you were going to talk to the team about in that first conversation?
It's funny when Dave showed me that, all I was thinking about how nervous I was going to the first team meeting. I don't know if you can tell, that was a good editing job by our people. There's probably some more awkward pauses throughout that. It's funny, it's actually a point of like an inside joke with the guys about like, it's just we didn't know each other, and it was our first like true interaction. It was just kind of this wild experience, and everyone talks about like what your first message to the team is going to be, and it's really overblown, frankly. But and you think about, hey, look, what am I going to talk to the team about? What's the first thing? I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it just came to me. I think God just allowed me to just like kind of just take a pressure away and said, this is what you should say. And it was pretty powerful. It was pretty awesome.
You check the weather for Sunday?
I actually did, yeah. I think it's going to be in the 40s, unfortunately.
You missed the forecast, right?
A few degrees.
Going back to, you said you guys kind of rallied around the loss of Week 11 and decided what team you want to be. What was different about that game, I guess, than maybe losing to the Niners, which was close, and losing to the Bucs, which was close? What was different about that game, I guess?
It's a good question. I don't think it's like, hey, now we realized it. I think that's, or we realized like what we wanted to be. I think that was clear from the get-go of what we were chasing. But just to be that probably deep into the season and to feel like, hey, this outcome could have gone the other way, and given all the things that didn't go our way in the game against a really good team. And so I think it puts some urgency behind playing a little bit cleaner football and understanding like, hey, look, we can expect to, try to figure out ways to win these types of games, and we're good enough to be able to do that.
The Rams were really good against the blitz all year, and then they've struggled against it in the playoffs. When you face a team that's got kind of disparate results in those situations, how do you weigh what to pay more attention to?
Yeah, I think, well, the blitz thing is an interesting question because it's just like, well, what's the context? And so that's how we look through it. And so there's some times where it's important to send people. Sometimes it's important where it's not. try not to put too much stock into like one game, just especially against a team that you're really familiar with. So it really doesn't really affect like how we're going to think about how we want to game plan the game.
You were asked, might have been on the radio a few weeks ago, about John potentially winning Executive of the Year. I think you said, it's only a matter of by how much. When you just look at the job he's done building this roster, really before you got here to now, over the last 3-4 years, trades, free agency, draft, just what stands out about the job he's done?
Well, when Salk asked me why, it took me a minute to come up with the answer, but it really is like conviction of what we're trying to build and what we want the Seahawks to be all about, and he's led the charge. So I mean, it's really that simple. And then I think just like his leadership example on a day-to-day basis shows up in so many ways. Just like the spirit of the building, his interaction with everyone. I mean, he talks to more people in the building than I do. Like he's doing his thing all the time, and he's been incredibly helpful to me. I was talking to somebody today actually about just like, hey, look, I didn't know anything coming in. Like you're just trying to do the best job you possibly can every day, and he knew when to kind of give you some air to breathe and grow and expand and learn, and maybe fall a little bit, and then he also was there to support you when you needed it. So he's just got a great feel for how to handle those situations, whether it be me or anybody else in the building.
Mike, in week 20, common opponent when you're game planning, how much you have to focus on the why, or is it more about the execution now? Since your players
what was the first thing?
On the why of each play. You've talked about how important that is.
Yeah, well, it's the same. It's just, hey, look, this is what we're going to call. This is why. All right, let's go do it. See what it looks like, and then go from there. If it looks great, let's keep hammering it out. If it doesn't, let's figure out how we can make it clearer, or let's move on. So it's the same cadence.
On the blitz rate numbers, statistically, you guys have one of the lowest in the NFL this year. Did you anticipate that going into the year? Is that just kind of the general thought, or does it change kind of how you?
Yeah, it does change, but frankly, I anticipated us pressuring more. But it's just you got to listen to your team, and I felt like we've done a good job of that.
Thinking back to off-season workouts, when majority of the team showed up for what was voluntary workouts, you mentioned it a lot, talking about it back then, but now that you're this far into the season, what did that kind of do for you guys, like during the season?
Yeah, great. We would not be here if the guys didn't buy in the way they did and work the way they did in the off season. And it's easier said than done. You can ask till you're blue in the face for them to come to our off season program, but if you haven't built something out the way that like Ivan and Danny and the rest of the guys built out, and our coaches create an environment where they feel like they can come and get great work in and spend time with their teammates and actually improve as a player. If you're not doing those things to back it up, guys aren't going to want to come. So really, it's the players taking a leap of faith, trusting us and trusting what we've been able to bring to the table for them, and our coaches and staff, creating an awesome environment where they feel like they can get better. So if we didn't do it, we would not be here right now. I'm convinced of that.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to start with some of these injury updates. On Sam Darnold, Mike Macdonald saying he's not going to be full go for the whole week. They have a plan. They'll take it day by day. Bump, before I get to my main question for you about George Holani and Ken Walker, I didn't feel any huge concern from this, but this is kind of what we expected. This was an injury he'd have to monitor.
This is kind of where I don't gamble, but this is where I hate gambling. Because if there weren't bets out there, you wouldn't have to tell anybody nothing about Sam. You could lie and be like, he's 100%, or I don't know if he's going to play, honestly. You can just lie, but this is where Vegas comes in. You got to tell the truth. But no, we expected this, right?
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to have your QB with a little knick-knack injury go full go all week.
Okay, so expect to see him as a limited participant on that practice report, I would guess, through most of the week. Charles Cross did walk through. They're going to see how it plays out for the rest of the day. I would assume kind of the same approach. Let's get to George Holani and Ken Walker. Good news for George Holani, who was activated from the injured reserve earlier today. He was asked, Mike Macdonald, whether or not George would play Sunday. He said, yeah. He's in great shape and is working his tail off. My question for you, Bump, in our final minute and a half here, is what that means for Ken Walker. What's this carry split supposed to look like for you? Is this Holani replacing Charbonnet, or do you want to see more from Ken?
All right, so let's just look at the last game that was played real quick. All right, we ran the ball 33 times. Ken Walker got 9 carries. Charbonnet had 5. Rashid had 2. That's 7. And then 6 That's 13. I did it. All right, it's 13 carries to 19.
Proud of you.
I would move this to 25 to whatever that is minus 13, 8.
You think
9.
Ken Walker, like, I believe in
Yeah,
you.
he needs at least 25 carries.
Yeah. I don't know. It is a bummer that Charbonnet suffered that injury. I still have a lot of faith in this run game. And also because some of those changes have been up front. Even though Sam has that oblique injury he's dealing with, I still have a ton of faith in Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Here's the thing, too. If Cross don't play, I believe in Jones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, we'll keep an eye on the practice report. But one last time from Mike Macdonald, Sam Darnold is not going to be full go the whole week. So if you see him as limited on the practice report, don't panic. Speaking of Mike Macdonald, it turns out that in his very first team meeting, he called his shot. That's next.
Brock and Salk.
The defense was just so good.
Morning 6 to 10.
236 total yards. Honestly, if you had asked me after the game without looking how many yards did they give up, I would have said like 136.
Kyle Shanahan has coached 163 games and is a 49er head coach. He's been held under 7 points just 4 times in those 163 games, and 2 of them have been in the last 3 weeks to your Seattle Seahawks.
Amazing.
Only on Seattle Sports.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not-so-wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho! And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! Seattle Sports is giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game. Sunday against LA at Lumen Field. Oh my word! Open the Seattle Sports app, then click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win. Here's Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game. Holy catfish! Sunday, kickoff at 3:30.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
A Seahawks video is making the rounds this morning. If you haven't seen it, it's already going viral, at least here in Seattle. It's a Seahawks montage of Mike Macdonald's very first team meeting.
All right, we got everybody. Man, this is pretty awesome, huh, guys? Let's go. This is awesome. We got a hell of a program ready for you guys. One of the things I want you guys to feel going through this program is that we have a vision for you and this football team.
Here we go, fastball!
But today, all right, I'm going to take you here now, so stay with me. I want us to just take a minute here and fast forward to January, NFC Championship. It's 30-something degrees. All right, it's wet, it's windy. All right, for them, okay? But it's just right for us. We're loose. We're focused. All right, we're confident. We just spent the last 9 months stacking every opportunity that we had to put us in that position.
I got one question. Do y'all feel it? This is what we send the message. Then we the best in the world.
Team across from us in the other locker room, okay, they've seen the tape. They know what they're in for. 11 guys playing as one, every snap. They know that we're like that.
Fire to the end zone. Ball is caught.
They know that they're facing a bunch of men that won't give up. They know they'll face a team that won't die and won't quit. They know. It's inevitable. So let's go to work.
2 years later, that's exactly where Seattle is. You heard him say, imagine a cold, wet January day NFC Championship game. This team is coming to visit us, and they know they're dealing with a problem. Let's get after it. And now here they are. So we're 2 years later from that meeting. Great montage, by the way, for the Seahawks there, and great call to keep that.
Could you imagine them making that? Like, oh, this is going to be
Oh,
such
man.
fire.
I have a lot of respect for the member of the video team, graphics team, PR team that, like, bookmarked that. They were like, let's film the first meeting just in case we win a Super Bowl pretty soon, and we can use this. And it worked out. They're one win away from going to a Super Bowl. How'd they get here? How do you make it happen? How do you go from that meeting to where they are right now, where they are doing what he said they'd do this Sunday?
Saying it and doing it are two totally different things. Every year, your first meeting with your football team, whether it be, let's go like to OTAs, right? you're sitting there and you're trying to find a way to convey your message to your organization, but specifically your players. This is how we're going to take the necessary steps. This is why I believe in everyone in this room. Now, in 2024, there's about 10 to 15 guys who aren't in that room anymore, but the core is still there. Plus, you got D-Law this year, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, right? But for the most part, everyone else is in that room, and you got to have a plan. That's what I love about football is that you can't just wing it. You can't just come to practice like, all right, this is what we're doing today. No, you plan out every single phase. There's OTA phase 1, 2, and 3. There's your break. You get to training camp. You got weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like there, everything is mapped out. So you got to have a clear plan on how you're going to do this and believe that it's going to work. But it's about executing your plan. And then it's about your GM giving you the pieces to execute your plan as well. Mike Macdonald figured something out in Baltimore when he was there. His personnel was ridiculous, so let's not forget that.
Right.
And I genuinely think he looked at some of the pieces that were here and saying, I can duplicate what I had over there. I know how to do it. I just need a GM to trust me and to give me his input as well. John Schneider, GM of the year, in my opinion. But it's every step of the way being clear with what you're trying to accomplish and being consistent with your approach. And that's something that we hear all the time about Mike Macdonald is that he's consistent. Every single day you know exactly what you're going to get. But then it's going out there the week one and saying, all right, now we got to go execute. And guess what happened week one? You take an L. You take an L. The play action is not there. The defense is decent. But even me going back and looking at week one, the defense just looks different. So now what you have to do is you have to convince your guys that, look, stay the course. It's going to be all right. We're going to lose some ball games. It's going to be like this. So it's a constant battle every day, reminding your team what the goal is and how to take the steps towards that goal, and you showing up every day and leading the team towards that goal in a way that's so consistent. You got to have personnel, though, too. Yeah. Let's not get it twisted, okay? You got to get lucky with Sam Darnold, him being available, DK won the league. There are some things that would happen regardless of who's here, right? Say if DK was here or Geno's here, they're still going to be taking these steps. But along the way, you got to get lucky, and you got to be sure with the moves that you make personnel-wise to take these steps. And he's hit. Everything's hit.
Yeah.
Ernest Jones hit. D-Law hit. Rashid hit. Cooper Kupp hit. I mean, everything that they've done has hit so far.
Also, sneaky part of what's worked so far, switching coordinators.
Yeah.
If you have all this personnel, does it work with Ryan Grubb? No disrespect to Ryan Grubb, who clearly knows ball. Nice guy. We interviewed him. But does it work with him at the helm calling plays? I don't know if it looks exactly the same because Clint Kubiak has been so stubborn about that run game. Got away from play action in week one and then immediately corrected in week two. Ken Walker had over 100 yards against the Steelers. Then you had a gap where you were running the ball a ton, but just not successfully.
Yeah.
And now it's opened up. I don't know that you get that with Grubb.
I don't know because his philosophy is just different. It was spread them out, you draw back, Geno throw the football, and let's win that way. And maybe in a different situation, that works. Maybe if you have a different quarterback or, different personnel, that works. But Mike Macdonald knew what he wanted to be offensively, and he made the adjustment after that first year and said, you know what, we're going to go a different direction because this is how I think we should be winning ball games or can win ball games. And it's worked out.
I think it's constant correction, too, right? The answer to the question I'm asking both of us is kind of in his statement.
Yeah.
Keep stacking wins, stack accomplishments, stack things little by little by little by little. You look back and you reflect. You figure out where you need to get better. You become obsessed with the game and obsessed with the singular goal of getting to and winning a Super Bowl, and now you're one win away. How'd you get here? Well, the same process. You stacked those wins. You stacked those moments. You stacked those learning opportunities. You just need to stack a couple more here. And I'm hoping that some of the things that they've stacked, that some of the things that they've re-examined and really tried to figure out and work on are things that help them get by this team. Split this during the regular series. Got the better of the defense for 3 quarters and the last time they were here. Sam Darnold in the offense go down the field in overtime to win it, which is great. But these are as closely matched as 2 teams in the NFL. I mean, it's these 2 leading the charge in point differential, margin of victory, everything else, and then it's the rest of the NFC. So it's going to be a great game. I believe in the Seahawks. I think they can get it done, and we're going to continue through the rest of the week to preview this game. Coming up next, Sam Darnold's Wednesday press conference. Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike Macdonald. The bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love.
That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable. And I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will. Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Bills quarterback Josh Allen may need foot surgery, the team announced in a press conference today. He injured his foot in Week 16. If he does undergo surgery, it would not affect his availability for OTAs this offseason. A bit of controversy stemming from that same press conference. In a year of wide receiver struggles for the Bills owner Terry Pegula said that the coaching staff were the ones pushing for receiver Keon Coleman, not GM Brandon Beane. Coleman's still very much on the team, so that sure got awkward.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. 2 tight ends in the game for Darnold, who goes under center. Walker, the single setback. Play fake to him. Sam is going to roll left. Looking. Sam throws. Back of the end zone. Is it caught inbounds? It is! Touchdown! Seahawks! Far back corner of the end zone. Guess who? It is number 11, Jackson Smith in Jigba. And he is waving to the crowd in the south end zone. A perfect pass by Darnold.
Well, we're going to be talking about him a lot on Sunday, so let's take a listen to him now. It's Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold speaking with reporters.
All right. Yeah, obviously third time playing these guys. Really good team, right? Really good defense, really good scheme, good players. So like always, man, we're really excited about this opportunity to play these guys. And yeah, we just got to have a really good week of practice. For me, I got to, continue to attack, all the things that I need to attack, just getting ready, like I said, getting ready to play these guys, but also just getting my body right, get my body right to be ready for Sunday.
When you went back and actually studied Saturday's film, what stood out about the offense outside of the obvious numbers?
Yeah, I think just staying on schedule. I think, staying positive on first and second down, staying ahead of the chains. I think that's a huge point of emphasis for us, every single week. So for us to go out and do that last week, it was huge.
Stating the obvious, but what has it done for you guys defensively to have the run game do what it's been doing for the last 4 or 5 games?
Yeah, whenever you get the run game going the way it has been, it's huge. It opens up the pass game, and we can play action off of it. Run keepers, all those things. So, yeah, it's great whenever the run game gets going.
So how did you feel a day after that game, and how do you feel now?
Felt good. Feeling really good. Just attacking rehab these last couple days. Obviously, will be throughout the week. So, like I said, just got to continue to prepare and get my body right for Sunday.
When you was asked about the Rams earlier in the week, and you said you wouldn't want it any other way playing these guys. Do you feel it similar? And
Who said that? I'm sorry.
Mike Macdonald.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel similarly, and is there anything unique about the Rams that kind of separates them from everyone else?
Like I said, they're a really good team. Obviously, it's the NFC Championship, so 2 best teams in the NFC going at it. So, yeah, it's a really good opportunity to just play good football. Have that kind of next opponent, next game mentality. Obviously, we know the stakes. Kind of like I said last week, the stakes of the game. It's win or go home at this point, but we look at it as another game. We trust our process throughout the week and go about it that way.
Mike Macdonald said he exhaled a little bit after the sequence where you got sacked and then hit Cooper on the next play. Did you have any moments in the game like that where you felt like, yeah, I'm going to be okay or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I think just once I came out, to be honest, once I came out in warm-ups and felt good throwing the ball, I was confident about going out there and letting it rip. And, whatever happens throughout the game, whether I take a hit or not, like, it's whatever happens, happens. If something, tragic happens and I, go down and, can't get up or, then it is what it is. And, Drew, Jalen, they're ready to go, but obviously, hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, I'm ready to, attack everything and be ready for anything.
Sam, what will you guys miss without having Zach available now?
Yeah, obviously, Zach's he's been a huge part of our offense. Just the way that he runs the football, downhill runner. He's been really good for us this year, so we're gonna miss him. But we got a lot of guys that can step up, with him out.
You played a little bit with Velas at USC, right?
With who? Velas?
Velas.
Yeah.
What do you remember about him when you guys were at SC together?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's a great dude, and then he's just a really good runner, explosive, can make guys miss.
How do you manage your reps this week? And at this stage of the year, is it important that you get the majority of the reps, or 20 weeks in, you kind of know what you're doing?
Yeah, I think it's always important to get reps throughout practice, throughout walkthroughs. So reps are always vital throughout the week.
You mentioned how important it is to stay on schedule. Earlier in the season, you guys were toward the bottom of the NFL in second or third and long and converting. You've actually become like one of the best teams at that recently. Is that something that you guys have kind of worked on to be able to get back on schedule?
Yeah, I think, for us, it's just everyone doing their job, right? It's doesn't necessarily, you don't work on that more than you would on, other weeks. I think it's just everyone executing and doing their job. But I think just, everyone kind of locking into their job and their responsibilities. As the season has progressed, we've just gotten better at that.
Mike was talking about the Week 11 loss down in LA and the feeling of the team coming out of that game, like how you guys felt like despite the loss, you had something really good going. What do you kind of remember about the vibe coming out of that game? Yeah, obviously, it wasn't my best performance. And was still a chance to win at the end. So, for me personally, it's just, obviously it comes down to protecting the football, being smart, and getting the ball out of my hands at the same time. No, you're good. With that, we hear all the time about how close this team is. What Ernest said after that game, how much of that kind of was that an example of what we've been seeing all year? Yeah, I think that's how we feel about everybody, and obviously he said that about me, and it was great. It's great to hear that, especially coming from EJ, one of the leaders on this team. But everyone feels that same way. Like everyone has each other's back in that locker room, and that's one of the best parts about this team.
Sam, on the topic of protecting the ball, I just mentioned, Mike has told us that his coaching style to you and everyone else is not just simply don't mess up. Like in your case, he's like, I'm not going to tell Sam, don't throw picks, right? Yeah. That's simple. Does that matter to you that the messaging is that way? Like it's not just don't mess up. Yeah. Does that have an effect on you? Yeah, I think I've been saying it all year. Like I'm going to turn it loose, and I'm going to, if it's there, and we get the coverage for the right play, and I feel like it's there, I'm going to let it rip. But yeah, just being smart with the football is always at a premium. Like I gotta take care of the football at the end of the day, and that's where my mind's at. But if we get the right coverage and the right play, and I feel like the guy's open, I'm gonna let it rip. Is that something you're maybe better equipped? That's probably not the right word, but like better equipped to do now in the year, whatever you are in, versus earlier? Yeah, I think experience always plays a part in it. And we'll kind of leave it at that. But yeah, I think the more you experience the game, the way games go, it's just we've kind of seen throughout the playoffs, honestly, too. Like teams that take care of the football are, usually the ones that end up in the win column at the end of the day.
From your perspective, what do the Rams do so well defensively that led to some of those takeaways?
Yeah, they do a lot of really good things defensively. Just their scheme's really good. Coach Shula, those guys do a really good job of coaching those guys up on what to do. And like I said, the players make it come to life, with certain disguises and pressures. So it's, they're a really good team, really good defense, and play really hard.
Coach often talks about how his team is able to focus on just having the best Wednesday, best Thursday, block out all the external stuff. I'm sure that's a lot easier said than done, right? So what does it say about this team that you've been able to do that to get to this point, whether it's week 5 or now week 20? Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with routine, in my opinion. Like, I feel like everyone does such a good job of keeping their routine the same, throughout
throughout the day. And, when you do that, it's easier to go about it like, oh, let's just go 1-0 this week, or this is just another week. If you change your routine, one of the things, too, is having, a couple press conferences during this week. So trying not to, change my routine too much based on those kind of things. But, it's just keeping everything the same, watch the same amount of tape I do on a normal week, and, go about it that way.
Jack, for a lot of different coaches at this point, and I've had most of a full season with Mike Macdonald. How would you describe him differently than other coaches? What stands out about him?
I don't know if I could say what he does different. I just know that things that he does really well. He's very honest. He's very honest with the players, and he listens to players. If we're feeling a certain type of way, and about whatever it is, he's going to listen to us. But at the same time, like, he knows what's best for the team. And if guys are saying one thing and they feel like we need something, then, coach is going to put his foot down and be like, no, this is what I feel like the team needs. So he's really good at balancing that as a head coach, which I feel like can be hard. So he does such a good job of just running the show and leading us.
Jackson was just named Offensive Player of the Year by the Pro Football Writers Association. Just what can you say about what he's meant to this offense this year?
Yeah, I mean, he's deserved it. He deserves it. He's just the way that he is day in and day out, his consistency. I think that's what everyone appreciates about him. And then certain games where, he might not get the touches, he might not get the yards or a touchdown, he's going to have the same attitude every single day. And I think that's what people appreciate about him around here.
Last week, Gray Zabel was talking about how he and Jalen are to the point where you don't have to talk during a game. You can just get the call, they can look at each other. Certainly that affects their effectiveness. Mm-hmm. In what way does that affect you when the O-line is?
Yeah, I think just everyone being on the same page, like you said, without having to communicate all the time, that's huge. It allows us to operate faster, which, again, it helps us stay on schedule on first and second down. It's all tied together. So we just got to continue to do a good job of that and, staying on the details throughout the week. I think that's a big part of it is, understanding what kind of defense we're playing and what different type of looks we can get, and everyone communicating and being on the same page.
Sam, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, Sam Darnold saying he's feeling great, attacking rehab, going to be limited this week, but blah, 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 feeling fantastic. That's what you guys wanted to know from Sam Darnold. I've got more news. We're going to Curtis's Conspiracy Corner. Curtis, what's the latest update?
Wow. We're on part 4 or 5 of the electric substation down in Santa Clara. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan had their end-of-the-year press conference, which, Seahawks had a part in that, in making that happen.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. They were asked about the electric substation in Santa Clara. John Lynch confirms that they are, in fact, looking into it.
Well. Looks like there may be something there. I cannot believe this went from me saying that you, Curtis, and you, Bump, were conspiracy theorists buying into this insane idea that an electrical substation was causing tendon and ligament and whatever injuries. Collagen injuries. Collagen weakness with the 49ers.
Our phones are killing us. Why can't the power plant?
It just felt a little far-fetched, I'll say.
Why? Does it feel far-fetched? Because, Stacy, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Let's say the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
A duty of most radio stations is to go to Radio Row.
Okay.
Will you set foot in Santa Clara while we're down there? I have family in Santa Clara. I'd love for them to meet you guys. That'd be...
Now, Curtis, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Now, are we talking all of Santa Clara is where the electrical magnetical waves are?
These waves
Where are these waves going?
Yeah,
Do we have a little tsunami of
are
electromagnetic waves? Is it just kind of limited to the 49ers facility? Because if we, look, while I think, it sounds like a conspiracy theory, I don't need to test it out. I don't need to go. I think your family seems nice.
I thought you didn't believe. I thought this is just a hoax.
I'm not saying it's a hoax. I'm saying it's now interesting to me that John Lynch is looking into it. I may be opening my third eye a little bit and being willing to hear some of you guys out on this one. I guess the only thing that stops me is the Washington Post feature where they interviewed other scientists. And 2 or 3 of them were like, no.
And slipped them some cash to say something. That's what they did. Why would John Lynch,
big journalism,
a man who has access to
Post.
way more than we do? It's John Lynch now. This ain't no regular Joe Schmo. It's John Lynch. He got access to stuff.
I don't know that John Lynch thinks it's actually happening. I think that John Lynch knows that people are concerned about it happening. So he wants to make it clear, like, yeah, definitely. It's like when you tell your kids, I'll look under the bed. No, here we go. You weren't expecting to see a monster.
Did you just compare looking under the bed for a fake monster?
I think that's a
to
fair
an
comparison.
actual power plant.
Because I think that's what
of injury history.
I think that's what John Lynch is doing. I think John Lynch is saying, no, I know you guys are worried about it. Don't worry. We're looking into it. Let me check under. Ooh.
If he were doing checking under the bed, he would lie and just say, hey, I already went through it. We're good.
Well, no, because your kids need to see you check under the bed.
No. I've checked yesterday. I checked. Oh, look down there. No, nothing down there. Don't even look. You just pop your head down there.
If my mom told me I'll check under the bed and she didn't look under the bed, I'd be like, well, obviously you didn't. Words need to follow actions, Joe.
You just
no,
look.
Actions need to follow words.
I want to see what comes of this.
I need to stop.
What if they have to move the whole practice facility?
Stop. We need to get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what's an example of one man's trash being another man's treasure?
The All-Pro. Obviously, I paid attention to our All-Pros. I'm like, okay, look at our guys out there doing their thing. Let's get it. But then I went deeper. And Mike Jackson, All-Pro, did not know that. Mike Jackson was here for a while. Me and him rode on a bus together in Munich, Germany. We really connected a bit. And he's over there with the Carolina Panthers balling. It's not really trash and treasure. It's just, look, I'm a better fit over here, so I'm going to do my thing. You got Jordan Brooks. We all know Jordan Brooks was a baller over here, led the league in tackles a few years. He's All-Pro with Miami. Devin Bush Jr. was the biggest one that really caught my eye. I'm like, what? Devin Bush Jr.? Let me check, make sure this is the right guy. Number 0? Yeah. Over there with Cleveland, he made an All-Pro team. And then on the flip side, you got Ernest Jones over here, who was on that Rams Super Bowl team, who's now with us. You got Leo Williams, who was on that bad New York Giants team, who is now with us. This is the NFL, man. Sometimes you see something in a guy and you figure, yes, he will work in our system. So you know what? Let's bring him over here and get her done. Example with 5 guys right here. With different teams, we're okay, but you make a shift, you become All-Pro. I love to see it, man. So big ups to the coaches that saw something in these guys and allowed them to develop in their program.
Second down. All right, well, how could the Seahawks matchup against Puka be better this time?
All right, so I went and broke down like 3 plays. The biggest plays he made. There's a 54-yard touchdown he made. All right, it was against 12 personnel. It was nickel. It was maybe cover 4 or cover 6. Puka starts outside. He motions inside, and he has an angle. He's going across the field, and for some reason, Kobe bites down. He's the far safety. Bad angle by Kobe. He scores a touchdown. Not a touchdown, but a big play. It's a 3rd and 3. That was a plus 58. It's against 13 personnel. 1 running back, 3 tight ends. The Rams came out in that personnel group, but didn't necessarily pack it in all the time. They spread guys out and found matchups. Right, there's a big play right there for 58 yards, and then the last one was a 41-yard touchdown. Again, 13 personnel, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. It was against nickel, 3 robbers. So cover 3 robber means that you start with a 1 high safety. All right, the other safety goes into the middle of the field. He's jumping on anything crossing the middle of the field. That was Ty Okada. There was a post ran by the tight end and then a dig ran by Puka Nacua. Okada jumps on the post, 2 safeties on the post, dig underneath. The rest is history. McVay found ways to get Puka in the slot and get these matchups. He was working those safeties. Safeties are going to have to have a big day this week against Puka Nacua because Sean McVay found the matchup against the safeties and exploited them. Like I said, he also came out in 13 personnel, 1 tight end, one running back, 3 tight ends, but he split them out. So when you see that personnel right onto the football field, your mind as a defensive coordinator is going to a different place. He splits them out and messes up your calls, man. And we need Spoon to follow number 12. When Puka's in a slot, Spoon needs to be there. If we're not going to put Spoon on him or follow him, you have to reroute Puka Nacua. There were times there was no reroute. He's just running free and getting on our safeties right now. How are you going to switch that? I say 21 follows him all game.
How do you get someone to reroute? Or how would you get Puka to reroute?
You just put your hands on him.
Yeah.
You don't, whenever, especially a slot, usually I'm working a triangle. It's the outside defender on the second level, the corner, and the safety. I'm reading that triangle. That guy on the second level, it could be a nickel, a safety, or a backer. All they have to do to make me work harder is just get your hands on me. Make me have to adjust my route a little bit. There were times where Puka's just flying right up the field, no reroute, butt naked, 225.
Third down. Hope it's not 225 this time. What type game do you want from the Seahawks Saturday?
Honestly, I don't want a high-scoring game. I don't want it. I want a low. I want a 17-7.
Oh my.
You know, I want a grinder out there because I feel like the Hawks are the tougher team to beat in those situations. In the low-scoring games, they can get into a shootout. They're more than capable of getting into a shootout, but that feeds into who the Rams are. The Rams are like the Golden State Warriors, right? Running up and down the court, doing their thing. Whereas I feel like the Seahawks are more of the half-court offense, like the Spurs back in the day, is work the ball around. They can put up a lot of points. They're capable of doing that. But if I had to pick the style of game that I think is the most advantageous for the Seahawks, it would be the lower scoring game, the 17-7, the 20-10 type of game. And because we're just tougher. I feel like we're a tougher ball club.
Imagine if the Seahawks get to Super Bowl 60, having in their previous 2 games combined to allow like 10 points.
It'd be beautiful.
13 points.
I'd take it.
Unreal.
Every time.
4th down. Anything about the moon from our conversation with Trey Wingo?
Nothing about the moon. He believes man jumped on the moon. You know what? I'll hit up Trey and we'll have a conversation about that.
Anything else stand out?
Minus Matt having to hit the dump button, which I love. I love when Matt gets all nervous and has to hit that button. He said, Sam Darnold, the hardest thing to do is not to suck after sucking. And I like that. That means not playing good after playing bad. Bouncing back. That's what he did with the Rams. And I think that's important because a lot of guys go out there, you play bad, and you feel like that's just who I am today. I just don't have it today. This is who I am. And that was not the case with our guy. He also said, I love this quote, man. He said, winning is the ultimate deodorant. That is beautiful because it is. Because if Gannon were to go into that meeting and say, you feel that in your gut? We rolled the bus here. And they were winning, we'd be like, man, were they feeling it?
We're all riding the bus.
Right, we rode the bus, man. Where's my bus pass? I'm on that bus.
Fire your gut. It's a probiotics commercial.
But you know what he didn't have? Deodorant.
Yeah.
They wasn't winning them ball games.
He had fire in the gut and no deodorant.
No deodorant.
That's a recipe for a problem.
And then he said, culture comes from ownership, which I get, and then I disagree at the same time. I think in some cases it does. With the Jets, that poor culture comes from ownership. With the Seahawks, this great culture comes from Macdonald and John Schneider. I don't think it comes from ownership. Jody, do your thing. We appreciate you running the system. Boom, we love you. But Jody's not down there talking about culture and philosophy and stacking and edges and all that good stuff. That's from Mike Macdonald, and then you throw some John Schneider in there as well. Trey Wingo, I've been watching this dude on ESPN for like 20 years now.
Love Trey Wingo.
It's fun that when he comes to on to our show. But yeah, Trey had me rolling today.
I wish that if I had like a follow-up question for Trey when he was talking about, you know, it's not even about messaging. Like there's not some secret sauce special, you know, fairy dust. It's just about winning and losing. You win more, people are happier. They buy in. You lose, people start to question, which I do believe in.
Yeah.
I think what I'm most curious about is like, but what about that little transition period? Like when Dan Campbell had the Lions, they won like, I think 7 of their last 9 or something like that. But ultimately, when he started out, they were still very much struggling.
Yeah.
Or like with Vrabel, when he took over for the Patriots. Well, they had only won 4 games the year before. I know that they won, 12 or whatever this year. But like, what about when all of it first starts? Like, what has to be special about a coach? Is it like that he's clearly smart? Is it that he seems sincere? I think that's the transition I'm interested in. And then once you start winning, obviously people are like, oh,
yeah,
I'm buying in.
Just buy in.
I'm curious about that part of it. Like, how do these guys convince you if you start the season 3-1? You know, the New England Patriots with Mike Vrabel dropped an early game week 1 to the Raiders. It's not like that's going to stop buy-in. But
the thing about the league too is that everyone understands, and at least the coaches have to convey this to the young guys. You're going to lose ball games. You're not going to win every single game. You got to be able to correct and get right.
All right, coming up at 1:45, it's What I Need to Know, and I could use some of your questions. Send those in right now, 866-979-3776.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's my friends online at PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for a refractive lens exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Take the next step to becoming a Seahawks season ticket holder. Join the season ticket holder notification list to secure your spot in line. By signing up, you'll be the first to know when space becomes available on the official Blue Pride waitlist. Plus, receive team news, special ticket offers, and more. Visit Seahawks.com/season tickets to sign up today.
Here's Steve Label and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
Holy catfish!
Sunday, kickoff at 3:30.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We were joined earlier in the show, wow, stumbling out of the gate, by Trey Wingo, host of the Straight Facts Homie podcast and legendary sports voice.
Facts, homie.
Straight Facts Homie. He had some great stuff to say about Seahawks Rams and then more broader things to say about the toughest thing a quarterback can do. I wanted to start on the last point because I just thought it was really cool. And in fact, for 4 downs, you thought that this was the thing sticking out to you most. Here's what Trey said.
The hardest thing to do is not suck after sucking, right? Seattle people will appreciate this. The NFC Championship game in 2014 against the Packers.
Yep.
Russell was terrible in that game. He was god-awful until the fake field goal. And suddenly he had a chance to win. And down the stretch to tie it in the fourth quarter and to win it in overtime, he was a different player. Tom Brady in Super Bowl 51 was awful through 3 quarters against the Falcons. And then when Dante Hightower got that strip sack fumble with 8 minutes to play, down 28-12, Tom Brady became Tom Brady again. To me, that's the hardest thing in the world to do, is to be terrible and then course correct in the game. And we've seen that from Sam on a couple occasions against the Rams. I think that has to give you optimism.
I think we saw it in the last game against the Rams where the offense was struggling through most of 3 quarters. And then Sam has not only a great fourth quarter, but leads them down the field for that final touchdown and 2-point conversion to win.
Yo, I had to go back and look at Russell Wilson's numbers that game.
They were bad. 4 interceptions, right?
14-29, 209, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions.
Bad.
You know who balled out? Marshawn Lynch. Do that 25 for 157. That's nuts, man. That takes a different type of person to bounce back and accept the opportunity, right? Not to put yourself down too much, but say, all right, look, man, I got myself here. My team has given me a chance. Now it's time to go out there and play some ball. And it doesn't surprise me that Russell Wilson would do that because his self-belief is on some other stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you credit for
Sam Darnold, I think he's developing into that. I think that he's proven to himself that he's capable of doing it. And he's shown it to the media, but it's crazy that they missed that part. It's always just 4 interceptions, 6 against the Rams or whatever. I'm like, but my man, after the horrible performance in L.A., drove down, gave us a chance to win. 61-yard field goal, I know that's tough, right? After a tough game, like going back and forth against the Rams at home, drive us down, touchdown to go to OT, 2-point conversion win. Why is that ignored? I get that turnovers puts your team in a tough position. I understand that. Team sport, lean on your defense. Don't want that to happen. Don't want to have to do that. But why is it ignored that my guy Sam just dusts himself off and it says, all right, I can still salvage this game somehow?
Because I think people already have an idea made up about Sam Darnold, and a lot of them aren't fundamentally wrong. Like Sam Darnold, had turnover problems in the regular season, right? That's not incorrect. But I also think people aren't willing to adjust it because to a lot of people, the anomaly is not the 4 interceptions. The anomaly is the great fourth quarter in the overtime drive. That's technically the smaller period. That's, for Rams fans, I guarantee you they go, well, you got lucky with that Charbonnet 2-point conversion. You got lucky because there were a couple bad calls that hurt us and let you move down the field, and you did that 2-point conversion, and you're lucky. And then they see the true Sam as being, and NFL voices around the league, as being the one that did throw 4 interceptions, even though that is by far his worst game of the year. And while interceptions aren't overall an anomaly, the 4 interceptions in a game were for Sam.
Both can be true. It's true that Sam has struggled against the Los Angeles Rams the last 3 times they squared up. It's also true that the last 2 times they squared up, Sam dusted himself off and put this team in a position to win the ball game. It's also true that the last time he had to dust himself off, the defense played the worst game in franchise history, and yet they still won that ball game. Let's just tell the whole story. That's all I'm talking about, man. Let's tell the whole story. Don't skip the good parts.
Yeah. Well, and
tell the whole story.
For Rams fans, for that matter, yeah, allowing over 500 net yards and then shutting the offense for LA down in the fourth quarter and forcing 3 consecutive punts. LA had a chance to put that game away.
Exactly.
And they didn't.
Tell the whole story, Craig.
Speaking of turnovers, that's the next thing Trey Wingo talks about. In fact, he says it's the key for this game.
It's going to sound stupid and trite, but that doesn't mean it's not true. The team that makes the fewer mistakes is going to win. You know, you go back and look at the divisional round. Every team that lost the turnover battle lost. It's that simple. In the playoffs, points and possession are precious. Hang on to the ball, try and take it away, and maximize every opportunity to put points on the board. Something I could not believe the Bears didn't understand in that divisional loss to the Rams.
You want to know how the Rams lost to the Panthers in their first meeting, not the playoff meeting?
Turnovers.
Losing the turnover battle. And I think the Seahawks are just as good as the Rams. I think defensively they're better. Typically, though, when you talk about, Trey's right, how to win, even if it's an uneven matchup like you're the Panthers, win the turnover battle.
Since 2014, when they win the turnover battle, they are 10-0. They've also lost a turnover battle several times this year and still won ball games. It's less stressful when you don't turn the ball over, obviously. That's the goal every single game. But when you have the defense that you have and the weapons on offense that you do have, there's still a chance for you to leave the game victorious if you do turn the football over. So, yeah, man, it's this is a game that it's so hard to call, though.
Yeah.
Like we feel like the Hawks are going to win, and they're good enough to win. And the Rams feel the exact same way, that their team is good enough to win. It's all going to come down to the little moments. If Sam, I ain't going to say that. It's going to come down to the little moments.
Well, that's good, because I have more questions for you, and I have more sound from Trey. I want to talk about the Rams' run game. I have asked you so many questions about Puka Nacua. We are all talking about Puka heading into this game as we preview LA, and that's in no small part because he had 225 against you in that last game. But Trey thinks this could be potentially one on the ground for LA.
If you go look at the way the Rams played and the play calling against the Bears, they had 2 touchdown drives in that game. Those were the only 2 touchdown drives where they decided to make a commitment to the running game. And you watched all the other drives in between where it just felt like conditions be damned, field be damned, wind be damned, we're going to throw the ball. And you saw how many times coming out of breaks, receivers were slipping and falling. And when they committed to the run in that game against the Bears, those were their 2 touchdown drives. Those were mostly predominantly running play drives. That would be something that I would be interested to see how they're going to attack on Sunday, because they're a better team when they're balanced.
We think of the Rams as Matthew Stafford connecting with Puka. Might we see a different approach for Sean McVay this Sunday?
Nah, Puka, he's going to get his targets. At least 10, 12 of them things, as he should. But I would not be surprised if he does lean into the run a bit more. I think McVay has had some self-reflecting going on. I think it was the last game he goes, I got to call a better game. So he's honest with himself. He understands how football games are won. And I think he understood that he got caught up in the moment a little bit with that last game. So I expect him to emphasize running the football. I mean, on the year, the Hawks and Rams are both around 124 yards per game on the ground. Last 3, Hawks around 170. They're around 114. He knows running the football is essential. There ain't no way Puka ain't going to get his targets on Sunday.
I guess he'll absolutely get his targets. Also, I mean, look, if you're Sean McVay, you probably do want to obviously make sure you open up your pass game. He knows what to do. What am I saying? Good luck running as effectively against Seattle's defense as you did against Chicago's is what I want to say. Okay, very last one. This one is Sean McVay is brilliant, but a little critique that Trey has about McVay.
Sean is a little bit like sort of a Mike Martz light sometimes. You get so crazy about all the weapons and fun things you can do, you forget that fundamentally the game is won at the line of scrimmage. And at the end of the day, those wall of men dominating the other wall of men matters more than anything. And the only time the Rams were the more physical team against the Bears is when they committed to the run. So I'm curious to see how committed they will be to doing that against Seattle on Sunday.
So once again, highlighting, will they lean on the trenches? Will they lean on the run? Forget the flashiness.
You must Both teams, when it's a do or die type of game, I forgot who said it. One of my friends said it. She had me rolling. She is make it or break it. She said, it's a make it or break it type of game. Like,
she said that about the championship.
Yeah, I'm like, you're absolutely right. It's a make it or break it type of game. If it's a make it or break it type of game, you go with the higher percentage plays, at least to start until you feel things out. That is relying on the bigs in the trenches.
To be fair, though, for a football team, it's like a make it and break it. Break it, then make it. You know what I mean? You want to break their will.
Yep.
Break their plan, completely take them out of the game, then you win. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. That's coming up next.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! Seattle Sports is giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game. Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
Oh, my word!
Open the Seattle Sports app, then click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss. It's a new year and a perfect time to make the changes you've been dreaming of. Don't let those old habits and frustrations hold you back any longer. Our proven program gives you dedicated health coaches, ongoing support, real accountability, and a step-by-step detailed plan to help you lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a couple of months with no drugs, shots, exercise, or fake food. Imagine more energy, better health, losing fat, fitting perfectly into your favorite clothes, and being down 20 or more pounds by March. Remove the stress of trying to do this on your own and book your free consultation at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Yeah, how's that resolution coming along? If you're sick of crowded gyms or already losing motivation, don't beat yourself up. Give the people at Eastside Weight Loss Clinic a 15-minute call and see how they can help. They helped me lose 35 pounds in 8 weeks.
Join the 4,000 clients who we've helped lose 20 to 30 pounds in 60 days. Our remote programs allow you to lose weight from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
The rainy season's here, Seattle, and your roof can't wait. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off today. Costly repairs and Band-Aid fixes won't hold up and just drain your pockets. Our technicians replace roofs year-round, backed by the strongest warranties. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
It's the clearance savings spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. For over 30 years, Big Trees has been helping homeowners and businesses move trees with advanced equipment and a professional and proven transplant process. Need a tree moved on your property or off-site? Trust the experts at Big Trees. Learn more about our transplanting process at bigtreesupply.com.
When the Seahawks make history. Hello! Seattle Sports is giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game. Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
Oh, my word!
Open the Seattle Sports app, then click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win. Here's Steve Label and Dave Wyman call the NFC Championship game.
Holy catfish!
Sunday, kickoff at 3:30.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Early What I Need to Know submission, I collected this from last segment. How much of this weekend is not losing to the Rams, and how much of it is not losing to yourself?
So deep. You don't lose to the Rams.
It's a bar.
You don't lose to yourself.
I felt that way about the 49ers, but not about this one.
It's all about us, man. Honestly. I mean, because we talk about what they're good at, running the football. The Hawks, let's run the football. You talk about what needs to happen, take care of the football, take care of the football. If you run the rock, take care of the rock, you feel like you're going to win this ball game. This defense has done a couple of things to confuse Sam Darnold over the last couple of meetings. He's going to be prepared for that. He'll be ready for that. He just has to be sure, but he can't be hesitant. He's got to let that thing go. He's got to see it, believe it, let it rip. That's all about us, man.
What I need to know, trash talking, for or against it?
I'm for it all day. I don't do it.
For it.
That's not kind of like my thing.
Yeah.
I'm more of a kind of laugh at you type of dude.
Yeah.
But our team thrives off of that stuff. So yeah, talking.
What about trash talking either between fans or from fans to players?
Fans, just be careful, man. Don't be disrespectful.
Yeah.
You can call somebody garbage. You're not good. Should have caught that. But once you start getting personal, that's where it gets a little different.
What I need to know, what's the latest with Geno Suarez and his free agency? Any chance he comes back to the Mariners?
Better come back.
There's always a chance.
I need him.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's been really quiet on that front.
Yeah.
Where's Geno from?
Venezuela.
That and Justin Hollander seem to imply with his what's the one we just listened to, or was it Dipoto? It wasn't one of our interviews. It was like MLB Network or something. No, it wasn't. It was Hot Stove Show. Excuse me.
That would have been Hollander.
Hollander, yeah. Seemed to imply, like, talking a lot about the younger guys. Like, I wonder if it's just Williamson.
Might be. I mean, he had some moments. I prefer Geno, though.
Yeah. What I need to know. Would the national narrative about this game be different if the Seahawks had made the field goal in the first game, so they were 2-0, or conversely, if they would have missed the 2-point conversion in the last game and were 0-2? They always talk about how hard it is to beat a team 3 times in a row.
No, I think I think most people would still come in having the Rams as the favorites regardless, especially if they were 0-2. 0-2. With all those interceptions and turnovers, they would have been like, oh, yeah, nah, no way.
Yeah.
Would have went against the rule.
Yeah, I think it would have been the first one let's say that they swept them. I think they'd say the first one was lucky because Sam threw 4 interceptions, and the second one was lucky because of the 2-point conversion.
Well, and if LA would have swept them, this game would be in LA.
Yeah.
On Sunday, we wouldn't be here.
So, yeah, I think the conversation would be somewhat different in that there'd be less respect for Seattle. I think just with what Stafford and McVay, who they are and what they've accomplished, I don't think quite as much would be lost for LA if LA had been swept.
Right.
I think there were just more questions about Seattle entering the season. What I need to know, aren't you glad Aaron Donald's retired?
Nah, I can get these hands. I'm just playing. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
They still have a great defensive line.
Yeah, their numbers are actually better without him than with him.
What I need to know. Okay, I have a longer one here. Casual fan here. If Shula's defense for the Rams is so good at disguising coverages and simulating pressure, and they often have a roaming guy looking to pick off Sam, why not do the classic pump fake basketball move if you're Sam? Show the defense where you're going to pass with a pump fake, boom, go to your next progression over the top or over the top. Sounds simple, but running motion clearly isn't working. If they're going to play make-believe, let's make believe last.
Yeah, that sounds great. But it don't work like that. Yeah, a pump fake, if you're going through your progressions, a pump fake, one, you lose ball security because you're taking both hands off the football. I wouldn't suggest that unless you're working a double move. 2, it throws off your timing a little bit. I mean, there's a time and a place for it, not saying that you don't do it. But I prefer Sam to have good hands, good feet, go through progressions and let it rip.
I'm sorry to this listener if I butchered your question.
But that's how I understood it. I'm sorry if
No.
if I didn't answer it.
What I need to know, if the Seahawks beat the Rams and then blow out either the Patriots or Broncos in the Super Bowl, what will it say about Sam Darnold? And what will it do to Russell Wilson's legacy?
It does nothing to Russell Wilson's legacy. I think it's all about Sam Darnold. It would say that he's your franchise quarterback, and he's probably going to play out this contract and get another one.
I think it would only do something to Russell Wilson's legacy if Sam Darnold was significantly younger and was the starting quarterback in 2014 and then went to and won a Super Bowl, and it's like, oh, Russell didn't matter. Because it's an entirely different team. Like, we all know that the Legion of Boom was the strength of that team. No one thinks that Russell carried them.
I think they're 2 totally different situations.
Yeah.
Russell still, all the numbers still count, all the memories you have. I think you just separate the 2 completely.
Who makes the best tartar sauce in Seattle?
I don't really rock with tartar sauce.
I don't rock with tartar sauce either. What is tartar sauce?
It's like a mayonnaise relish thing.
Oh, so you'll like it?
Yeah, that seems like something Stacy would like.
Aioli?
I do love aioli, but I don't like pickly things.
Yeah.
Like any sour.
I was
going to
say,
sour.
it's a little tart, you know?
A little tart.
It's it's really only good on like fish and chips.
Which
if you like fish and chips.
I don't.
Wrong. Dick's.
Oh?
Tartar sauce.
Okay.
Dick's Burgers?
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
People work in Seattle.
Ivar's is not bad.
I'll try it.
I don't
I'll try it, Matthew. I'll try it.
Are you supposed to like tartar sauce if you're in Seattle? Is that like a thing?
You're supposed to like Dick's if you're in Seattle.
Well, Dick's is fine. Their fries are not good.
Wow.
Hey,
Their fries are not good. That's not controversial. That's not controversial. Their fries are fine. They're
cool?
not even a top 10 fry.
Hey, the service is quick, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. The
In and out.
burgers, I could eat 3 of them. Milkshakes, wonderful.
Yeah.
Fries,
I like the plain over the deluxe burger, too. I like just like the regular just cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember the last time I had one, though. It's been years and years and years and years.
Well.
Okay, I feel a judgment from all 3 of you.
You live closest to a Dick's than Bump and I.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
went to
but
Dick's like last month.
I'm just a very healthy eater.
Oh. He's looking down on us now?
Yeah, that seems very judgy.
What I need to know. My wife and I are planning a trip before her leave is up with our baby, but how young is too young to take on a flight?
It's all about the temperament of your baby, man.
Yeah, if your baby is a good traveler in the car and like they're not fussy, then yeah, give it a go. But if that baby is not a good traveler, I would wait a few months.
Mm-hmm.
We took our oldest Willa on a trip on an airplane when she was 3 months old. She did fine. She's always been a good traveler.
I have no answer to this question. Someone said you're wrong about Dick's. Dick's burgers themselves are fine. I don't think saying the fries are a specific type of person. They're very greasy and they're very potato-y. So if you like really salty, greasy fries, they are perfect for you. I like a crispy.
That's kind of what fries are.
No, I like a very.
You don't want them to be air fried and like.
No, I like a very crispy fry. Like if McDonald's fries, like a shoestring crispy fry.
You broadcast on a radio show in the city of Seattle, and you would rather have McDonald's fries than Dick's Burgers fries.
No, if Dick's wants to pay me, I'll talk about Dick's fries every single day. I'll mention it in every single segment.
Dick's Burgers does not have to pay me. They have my loyalty no matter what.
Well, no, I wouldn't rather. I mean, I don't know how to
First
answer
time
this
I had
question
Dick's
without-
Burger, man, changed my life.
Is it better than In-N-Out?
No.
Who's the villain now?
Yeah, but that's his local place. I'll accept
Okay, that's
that.
fine. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical. What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay, plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Adrian here from Lake Washington Windows and Doors.
Winter might seem like an odd time to replace your windows, but now is when you get the best deals. Our Leak Armor installation team will keep your home warm and dry while installing beautiful, new energy-efficient windows. You'll feel the difference right away. Quieter rooms, lower energy bills, and a more comfortable home.
Right now, save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months same-as-cash financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.